Warning: this program may contain explicit language that may be considered offensive or inappropriate to children and some adults.
The following content is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode, well, the legit premiere of Chit and Kiki.
Hello, somebody. Yes, ma'am.
That opening is lit, bro. I had never actually watched it.
Oh, you know, I do a little something.
If I had a booty, I would twerk a little bit, just a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? This is the urban hour. So, anybody who's if y'all been messing with Woe Nelly Media, y'all have seen some of our other content. We've got Geeking Out, we got Talk It Out, and we have all these other kind of things. But this is basically our uncut, uncensored adult hour, where we're just gonna like talk uncensored about everything adult that's happening in the world right now. When I say adult, I don't mean like XXX. I just mean we're going to talk about the Lil Nas X controversy. We're going to talk about, literally, we're going to spill tea. We're going to talk about Derek Jaxn. We're going to talk about all that stuff. But I want to start with talking about, we're going to do a reality show recap. So every night, every Sunday at 10, we will be here. And generally Sunday nights, that's Real Housewives and then also Married to Medicine or some other show like that. So we're going to start with a recap of that, and then we'll go from there. If you're watching with us in the comments, let us know. If you did watch Real Housewives and Married to Medicine, let us know what y'all thought about tonight's episode, and we'll chime in. And also let us know about any of the topics. If there's something that happened in current events that y'all want to talk about, anything, please put it in the comments, and we'll make sure to touch on it, at least if we can, okay? So, Real Housewives of Atlanta. We were watching it, and of course we were talking while we were watching it. Tristan is still on his whole...
No, this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing.
You are... So I guess Tristan and Mo have decided that Real Housewives of Atlanta is not interesting anymore.
It is kind of stale, bro.
I disagree. I don't think it's
Is it okay to say that I do like the editing choice picks? You know, the transitions, they're cute.
They've always... Real Housewives have always had, like, some like the editors are shady as hell. Like that's
the editors are very shady.
The editors are hella shady. So I live for all that. It's just like I feel like we keep recycling the same conflicts. I don't understand why Marlo and Shamia aren't housewives yet. It'd be a much more interesting
Marlo and Shamia. This is why, because Marlo is because what I've heard, they don't have anything to follow outside of her interactions with the ladies.
I heard it's because she got a record.
I heard it's because she's a woman, like she is a working girl.
No, because if that was the case, Kim Zolciak wouldn't have been a wife. Let's be clear.
Well, no, hold on. I think the difference between her and Kim was Kim had a sugar daddy. Which is fine. I think
that's the difference.
I think having
the tea in this conversation is exceptionally hot.
Having a sugar daddy and then seeing multiple clients and you being like a working girl, legitimate, like you can't. Like they can't show. I don't.
First of all,
I mean, if that's true with Kim Zolciak, they damn sure kept Big Papa under wraps for years.
Nobody knows what Big Papa looks like except for the people who know.
You Google, you can know, but
but my point is like that's still speculation.
Allegedly,
yeah, it's still speculation. So to me, I think that's the reason why Marlo isn't is because with the Housewives, they also want to have something to talk about outside of your interactions with the ladies. And, she doesn't really have, I don't want to sound rude, and I'm not trying to shade her, but she doesn't have, like, the husband drama, the family drama. She's not that. Her interactions with the ladies, so why give her a peach?
Well, she does. She's taking care of her, too.
Now.
Now.
And that's very recent.
And I think that would be a very cool thing to see. Because I think, you on that Wendy Williams. You watch Wendy Williams a lot. Let me ask you that. Do you? Really don't watch Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Besides the clips I see on Instagram, but I don't watch the Wendy Williams show on TV.
Okay.
Now with Marlo, I did hear that because she has a record, because she had that record for fraud,
an extensive one,
right? That legally they can't get insurance.
Insurance.
That's what I heard.
That's a good point.
What? Wait, why do you need
I didn't even think
insurance
about
on
that.
her? I don't get it.
You have to have insurance
for the show.
Yes, in case something happens or she gets to fighting, they can sue Bravo for all that.
But she's still she's not maybe a main cast, but she's still talent. So
I think you
don't have to insure the talent, but you have to insure the main cast.
She might be a contractor, and they may not have to insure her.
I don't know. I knew I did hear the rumor also back in the day that certain cast members refused to have her on because she had an extensive record.
Phaedra?
Maybe.
Phaedra. Who else?
Probably.
Who else criminal ads like that, like they don't like criminals?
Probably, Sheree want to be hot to Diddy, so she might have been
but Sheree, and it's funny because I was watching something, and Sheree was actually talking shit about, I think it was Phaedra, talking shit about Apollo being in jail. And then I forgot, in her last season, Sheree was legit talking to a nigga in jail, wasn't she?
He just got out of jail. He just got out of jail.
He's out?
And
she'll be back. She'll be back. The camera,
He just got out maybe a month ago. I think he got out early because early release and COVID and that kind of stuff. But he is out and he is living, and he's with her. I don't know, like they are together. He probably living with sis because where else he gonna stay? He ain't got no home.
Good that she realized that people who have records are human. If you
remember, it was allegedly he was paying them bills, even when he was locked up. Because, Chateau Soleil just got finished, only a couple of years ago?
And Sheree ain't got no job.
Yeah. But I would be thrilled if the Bone Collector came back.
Listen, I think, now the thing about it is, Nene completely burned that bridge. It's burned.
She burned her whole bridge to Hollywood.
Yeah, she really has. And what's bad is, the thing about it is, Nene had that Jocelyn syndrome, that Jocelyn Hernandez syndrome. Yeah. The difference was, Mona Scott don't care. You can insult Mona Scott all day because, you want to come back to the show? Sure. I'm going to eat off of you either way. That's how Mona Scott is.
Basically.
Andy
not
ain't
so
like
much.
that. Andy's like, nope.
And if we're being honest, there ain't really a whole lot else outside of the love and hip hop realm that Jocelyn can do. But I think with Nene, where Nene messed up is there was a lot outside of Housewives that she could have done at other networks. But now, if I'm a network exec and I've seen how you treated these people who have paid you very, very, very well.
They made Nene and let's say, I'm not saying that it was just her, but they made Nene a household name in a big way. People look at her as like a staple in reality TV show. Period.
And bruh, Nene was the first person I ever heard of making 7 figures for one season
on a reality show. Yeah,
it was unheard.
Her and Candy. Her and Candy were getting paid out the wazoo.
And Candy still is. Candy is. Yeah.
But that goes back to what we talked about last episode. And this is one of Jennifer Hudson's biggest mottos. It's not how good you are. It's how good you are to work with.
Yep.
And I don't know who I don't know whose YouTube I was watching, but they said, "Hey girl, hey." They said,
"Hey T." Oh, I'm sorry, Tristan. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Everybody who's watching this right now, please do me 2 favors if you're watching right now. Go to YouTube, like the video on YouTube, comment on YouTube. That helps us get more engagement, so maybe we can get a little change and get some more viewers, okay? Also, share the video that you're watching on Facebook. Just share the hell out of this. Like it. Do all that stuff. Comment, because that gets our engagement up. More people will see it. More people will join the fun. Go ahead, Tristan.
Wait,
I forgot
there's
whose
a question.
YouTube I was
Is
watching.
Nene the same level as Tiffany Pollard?
Bigger.
How?
I think... Well, let me explain.
Because I mean, New York is the OG.
Let me not say bigger. I think that Nene is a little bit more... for lack of a better word, mainstream. Like, I feel like Nene has had more mainstream opportunities than Tiffany Pollard has. Like, you know, Nene's hosted red carpets. She's done stuff with E. She's been on a network TV show. She's built relationships.
And she had a QVC line.
Right. So
it's even deeper than that. You have to think about where these women and these men, these reality show stars, their entrance into reality show fame is very important. What I mean by that is Tiffany Pollard was on Flavor of Love, which meant her only interactions were with women she was being negative towards. That doesn't really put you in a good light to work with people. So then after that, her show was all about her, men fawning over her. She's never been able, like, that's the difference with Nene. Nene had her combative moments, but we also got to see her be a friend, funny, a mother. We got to see her in so many avenues. So as a person who's hiring, casting, I don't mind. I'm Ryan Murphy. Yeah, I'll put her on Glee. But am I looking for New York to be on Glee? In addition to the fact that it's Flavor of Love, it's like New York didn't... She's not a mean person. Now you're seeing that now with her stuff now. But at the time, all you see is, oh, she's just super combative, and that's how she makes her money. That doesn't work for what I'm doing. Like, I'm not about to put you in a movie or a TV show as a regular if all I know of you is that you can't get along with people.
I don't know.
And I think
well, no, because she's done big parts.
She's done things. I think Nene also has better management.
Done what?
Nene had because they dropped her, but Nene had good management. Nene had good lawyers. She had a good team to keep her working and keep her bread coming in and getting her, you know, like Nene's guest hosted on like The Talk, on The View. Like, she's done things on that level. And I think I knew it was over for Nene when her lawyer and her agents all dropped her. Because at that point, all
but Nene's biggest issue, Nene is one of those people, just like Kenya, who can never, ever, let me not say never, because never say never, but they can never be accountable for their shit. Which brings us to tonight's episode. The one cast member I'm actually sick of, because every time she starts to do something that I like, every time it's just like she just can't be a human being ever. Like, she's the most hypocritical person on television. She's incredibly like, oh, I'm not gonna degrade myself for a room.
But you done paid how many men to be on this show and be your
let's not even be clear. I'm not gonna degrade myself for a room. However, the very next day, you were twerking and shaking your titties. And let's not, and then when you talk about the editors being slick, I like when Portia said, okay, Kenya might not want to twerk, but Chocolate will bust it wide open. And then it showed her and laying on her back with her legs wobbling, and I'm like, bro, I literally saw the brown in her you know, in her inner thigh. Like, I'm saying, like, that's not just like a bend over in pants. You're literally, I can see the brown inside of your legs, but you won't do a little fun twerk. And I'm not, you know, and so to me, I think it was one of those things. Once again, this is what it was. Let me tell you what it was. Drew did that trip, okay? Drew did that thing.
Yeah,
she said, private jet, everyone. Y'all can bring your kids because this is all about fun.
It was well planned.
As soon as they got off the plane, stretch a nice bus, air conditioned, huge, plenty of space. As soon as they got off the bus, a band greets them with drinks and sandwiches and chips. Immediately. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when, okay, now everybody got a room. Here's Cynthia, you get the best one because, you know, and it's just like, damn, I want to have something to criticize about this girl so bad. here it is. So I'm gonna criticize about me having to twerk for this room.
And then what I love was the flashback where they show Kenya giving Marlo the shitty room on some trip because she didn't like Marlo. So it was okay for you to give the shitty room to someone just because you didn't like them and you weren't feeling them. But when someone does it to you, it's a problem.
But what's fucked up is Drew didn't give her the bad room because she didn't like her. Drew gave her the room because she didn't want to do the thing. So she just gave her the room.
Last room.
Bruh. And you know what I don't like? Cynthia pissed me off tonight. She did.
What'd she do?
Being a peacemaker.
It's not even peacemaker. It was something that was said. Oh, when they said that Drew was bullying LaToya, Kenya said, yeah, Drew was really bullying LaToya, and Cynthia goes, yeah, she was. She was?
I would call it bullying.
And in the confessional,
she was trying to hold that ass accountable. There's the difference.
Yeah, she's like, and Cynthia's like, I don't know why Drew cared so much. Well, this is why Drew cared, because there was a private moment. Listen, Drew called her ass out. Let me tell you, Drew gonna call your ass out if you doing some fuck shit. In that private moment, you in that car doing all that stuff, but then you get in front of these girls and you want to act one way and treat me one way and keep giving me this shit, so I'm gonna call you out. And I feel like I don't agree with saying stuff about people that they have in private. I don't agree with that. But I will say
that was my only issue was there was a private moment that we're fleshing. And also, I think you have to be careful insinuating that somebody has an alcohol problem, a drug. I just think that's real.
But that's not what she did. And that's what I have to be very clear. What she said was, why aren't you drinking? Because they want to, I think for her, it's like, and notice when she brought that up. She brought that up specifically when they were talking about Fallon. Because I think she wanted LaToya to say, it's not that I have a drinking problem, but when I drink, I get hyphy, and I don't want to fuck up the trip, so I'm not going to drink, right? I think LaToya's
and that's
pregnant.
really all LaToya. I feel like LaToya kind of made it a bigger deal than what it was.
That's all she had to do.
Because LaToya just said, you know what? I'm not drinking because I'm not really feeling it this trip. I just want to have a good time and get to know you guys and be clear-headed.
But that's not why she's not drinking. LaToya's not drinking because she's pregnant.
But can I be real? Even if that's not why she's drinking, had she just said that, there would have been no more conversation.
Listen, let me tell you what Dureyea is. What Dureyea is the man. I'm a nerd, right? So when you're a nerd, trailers are your best friend. You can literally watch the whole movie by watching the trailer 85 times. You learn everything.
That's
right?
True.
I watched the super trailer for the season, and later in the season, Drew and LaToya are arguing about a pastor and her having fucked the pastor. The same
LaToya
pastor.
fucked the pastor?
Yes, the same pastor that they mentioned tonight when Drew was like, and then she met the pastor, blah blah blah, and they left it.
Know his name? Can we Google
They
him?
said it. They said it in the episode. I don't
remember.
But my point is, that's how. Listen, let me tell you what these editors do. They drop little nuggets, right? Because there's so much stuff they can let us hear, but they make sure that we heard that she met a pastor. Had nothing to do with anything else that was going on tonight, right? That she met this pastor.
If y'all know the name of the pastor,
and she got on them knees
please,
and prayed.
If y'all know the name of the pastor, please drop it in the comments.
You petty.
I would like to Google
You real petty for that, sir.
I would like to.
It was not Giselle's pastor, but Giselle is gonna be on Married to Medicine this year somehow. So y'all didn't know that?
Can we segue?
No, not yet. Not segue yet, because I want to talk about this drinking problem thing. She never insinuated she had a drinking problem. And let me tell you what it is. When someone brings up drinking to you and your first response is, I don't have a drinking problem, you got a drinking problem.
I don't think that's true.
Well, if I told you, Tristan, if I was honestly like, oh, you drink too much, Tristan, what would your response be?
Mind your business.
Yeah, you just be like, right. No, you wouldn't get mad.
Right.
And I'm not saying just because you get mad means you're but I'm saying, but that's a good sign.
But I think we have to also realize too, this is on TV, and I think doing it when you're not I think if it was just like, if me and you were just hanging out and you said it, even if I don't think it's true, I'm not going to get mad. But I think if you said it where we were around like 20 people, or if you said it and people were watching, I knew people were watching, and I felt like you were trying to insinuate in public that I was an alcoholic, then I may have an issue. Now, I
really think Drew was trying to. I think Drew was actually trying to.
Excuse me.
When Drew asked.
It did feel disingenuous because you were around a group of people. If he was really concerned about it, you would have took a one-on-one.
I don't think Drew.
But wait, just like Portia did to Marlo, it was a one-on-one conversation.
perfect example.
If you was really that concerned. She did that trying to keep a storyline.
I don't think so. I think this is the thing.
Do that in front of everybody and their mama?
This is why. I don't think Drew was insinuating a drinking problem. I think what was happening was they were talking about Fallon. Cynthia was digging into her ass about her behavior. I actually think Drew was throwing her a life vest. Basically saying, why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you drinking right now? So you can go ahead and say, because I didn't like my behavior when I was drinking and I don't want to. I think Drew was, because right after that, what Drew said was, I really want to like this girl. I want her to be my friend. I think Drew was trying to give her an opportunity to justify her behavior instead of being indignant like she was. Because in that moment, what she said was, I said what I said, fuck it, blah, blah, blah. Drew was trying to make me be like, but isn't the reason you're not drinking because you don't want to have those?
But I think my issue with that is I don't like people who ask me questions and you're fishing for a specific answer or you want me to say something specific. If you want to ask me something and you have a genuine curiosity about it or a genuine wonder about, that's fine. But don't ask me shit trying to like get something out of me or have a conversation. Like clearly,
I get what you're saying, but I think it's a two-way thing, right? I think it's like this. Sometimes it has more impact when a person just says it and you want to give them the freedom to say that themselves instead of leading them to, like, because if I could have just said, isn't the reason you're not drinking because you didn't like your behavior? That is not only presumptuous, that's presumptuous. Because what if that's not the truth? What if she's pregnant? My point is like, so what you do is you just open the door and say, you know, in my mind, based on the conversations that we had in private, you're not drinking right now based off the conversations we had because you don't like your behavior when we drink. Based off of the conversations we had. I don't want to go straight to that. I want to give you an opportunity to let these other ladies know what I know. So, because honestly, remember this. But remember at the same time, wait. One more thing. The other part of it was the stuff that we found out about what happened in the car with Toya and her driver. She didn't tell the group. She told the confessional.
Is that any
better?
That
didn't come up at all.
The reason I'm saying it, it is better because that confessional could have happened way later in the season after other shit has already come out. She didn't want to put LaToya's business out there. She wanted to give LaToya a chance to reveal herself to the ladies like she had revealed herself to her.
Mm-hmm. I call bullshit on that. Because if you a friend, you're not, regardless of what y'all going through, you're not gonna bring up shit that you didn't want everybody and their mama to know. Especially since she was vulnerable, since she was drinking that night. So I'm like, come on, son.
But how does Toya? I don't know if Toya had that kind of barrier, because you have to realize this. In the same breath where she was mad that Drew said what she said 2 episodes ago, your best friend, your actual friend, you told. Okay, Candy and Toya were sitting down with their husband, with 2 other dudes, with Don Juan and Todd, and they brought up the alimony thing with Kenya. And they both said in that same voice, in that same moment, Kenya doesn't want us to talk about the fact that her husband asked her for alimony. And then the next episode, when she's around a whole bunch of different girls, she just gave that information up willingly, knowing that Kenya didn't want it out. Toya probably never even said she didn't want that information out there.
I agree with your point about Cynthia, like, it wasn't bullying. I don't think it was bullying. I think that was a bridge too far and you were doing too much. However, I think they were all doing too much, asking that girl about, yo, she not drinking. She not drinking. She don't want to fucking drink. Like, I don't.
And that should be enough.
And that should be enough. Because first of all, let's say she has an alcohol problem and she's dealing with it. Maybe it's a tenuous issue for her, and that's why she's not bringing it up. It's the equivalent of, to me, if there's a woman who doesn't have children, why don't you have kids? Why are you saying you don't have children? There's a reason why you don't. It's not I don't need to know why. That's not my business. It could be a very soft subject for you. Maybe you're infertile. Maybe you've been having issues with getting pregnant. I don't know. Same with that. The woman's not drinking because she don't want to. And the fact that y'all are spending all this time on this trip, making it be a thing, is only causing divisiveness and strife and making the trip, to me, not fun. And I like what Candy said. She was like, yo, I'm happy I missed it because I'm not with all that rah-rah. Like, I feel like they made an issue where there was no issue needed to be. Like, there was no issue with LaToya not drinking.
Well, but y'all want to make like they had anything else to talk about.
Like I said, I don't think the issue, I really don't think they weren't making an issue about her drinking. They were making an issue about her behavior. Let's be clear.
But
the conversation. Wait. If you really go back and look at it, the conversation started with them telling her that she was out of line at Fallon's house, which everybody agrees that she was. Now, as they were having that conversation, Drew brought up, why aren't you drinking on the trip? The only reason she brought that up was to, in my opinion, give Toya a chance to explain that the drinking may have been the cause of that behavior that night. However, Toya then turned it, and Kenya then turned it into, oh, you're bullying me about drinking.
It wasn't bullying.
That's what they turned it in. And so we're trying to make it seem like Drew was harping on it, but it came off that she asked the question and they got defensive.
We throw that word around too much. I don't think Drew was bullying her. But
I don't think so either.
I just found it kind of odd that they were talking about that for what seemed like to be a decent amount of time. And I'm like, that ain't even really that big of a deal. But like Mo said, they ain't got shit else to talk about. Like, legitimately, I'll be real. I think a producer whispered in that girl's ears for her to bring that shit up because they needed something to happen. Because think about it. Had that argument not occurred and that kind of not happened, nothing else would have been in this episode besides the Marlo.
That's not true. Because you still would have had Kenya. Kenya would listen. When Kenya's around, Kenya cannot deal with. You know how sometimes Candy will be in the whole episode, and we really won't even we'll get a few sound bites. But we don't focus on Candy. Kenya can't do that. It's impossible. She can't do that. She can't be a Candy in any episode. Like Candy can have a whole episode about her, and then 3 where they don't barely even talk about her, and still get her check. What's up, Jason? Jason the Thought. What's up, Jason?
Jason the Thought vibe.
Hey.
But low key, that's why, and I'm done with Housewives after I say this.
Yeah, after this, you're gonna go to Married to Medicine.
I think that's why Kenya was like, I'm gonna get my own room. I'm too good for this, because she just wanted some drama, and she knew that would give her camera time, and there was literally nothing else happening. Like she knew. I needed this is going to be my moment. Like I need a moment for this episode or for this stretch of time. Let me go ahead and make a little bit of a scene. And fine, queen, get your life, make your scene, pay for your own fucking room. We don't give a fuck. We don't like you.
Period.
Whatever.
Thanks for being here, Kinder Mage.
Yeah.
Kinder Mage.
Appreciate you.
We fuck with you real hard at Woe Nelly Media. You're always supportive, and we love it.
Yeah. And I will say he's right. You know, producers, that's what they're there for. But it was
that's their job.
Is that the best you could come up with?
Let me tell you. Go back and watch that super trailer. I'm telling you.
I feel bad.
I already can tell you. Drew is getting another season. Period. She's gonna be back.
Drew will get another season.
She'll be back.
Because we want to see that marriage. We want to see that marriage crash and burn. I'm just.
Well, you have to think. This is how I know Drew's gonna get another season. For like the first 4 or 5 episodes of the season, she didn't even have no scenes with the wives.
It was just her.
It was just her, and that was that interesting. That we are like, yes, we want that. So good. I like Drew. The reason I have 2 moments I want to talk about. Then we'll go to Married to Medicine. I like that Drew is always ready to get buck. And you know who else? This is why I want her to be a housewife. Is Shamia. Because Shamia is that 10 toes ass motherfucking bitch. You're not going to talk about my motherfucking friend. Period. Call me like when Toya piped up and said, you're a lapdog. And I wasn't talking to you. Like, I was so ready for that. I was like, get her ass, Shamia.
And the sad part is she'll probably get a piece before Marlo. And that's the saddest part of this damn show.
Who, Shamia or Toya?
Shamia. We'll probably
I would rather have Shamia have a peach than Marlo. This is why, because if you know, there's a clique that's formed. There's a clique that has formed. Portia, Drew, and Shamia.
Oh, you're right.
And we have not seen that clique or a clique like it. And that's an unstoppable ass clique.
And they're kind of like the younger, girls on the show. I like that. I like that a lot.
I do too, because if you notice, it's 2 things that let me know that that's a clique. Notice tonight, when everybody went to hang out with their friends, what happened? Portia went to Drew's room, and then Shamia went to Drew's room. Click, right? But then they do the Real Housewives after show, and they interview. Candy's getting interviewed with Toya, and then Cynthia's getting interviewed with Kenya. But Portia, Drew, and Shamia are getting interviewed together. That's the click.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, shit gonna change. So even though you feel like it's stale right now, this is a transition because of Nene. I'm not gonna lie. The energy of losing Nene did, especially on top of the pandemic, did give this kind of like, what is this show going to be? They're going to figure out. It's going to be dope.
Okay. I get all that. I get all that, but at the same time,
I'm gonna keep watching because we don't talk about it, so I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah, anyway. I'm gonna start back watching. You know, since I was forced to by you guys.
By me.
Not. I said by Derek because I was. You know, I was not advocating.
Yeah, it was me. It was me.
Yeah,
listen, because Real Housewives of Atlanta is a staple, and what they'll do, they got their peaks and valleys, but their peaks are so peakable that you gotta ride it out.
Speaking of peaks, because Married to Medicine for me is giving me everything I need. It's giving me all the things I need.
The only thing it's not giving me is Quad.
Oh, Miss Quad.
Do you miss Quad?
So much. Quad was that show for me. Like, Quad had reads. She was beautiful. She had every storyline she was a part of. Every time Quad walked on camera, it was the whole energy just changed. Even though it's interesting now, throw Quad in there.
But this is why I had gotten tired of Quad. I do like Quad in general. I think Quad had milked that whole beef with her and Mariah. I was so over that being. I was over it being talked about. It being brought up.
Still suing Bravo too?
Maybe. I'm not sure. But I just know every time for like the past 2 or 3 seasons, that was always being brought up, and it was like, yo, can we please? One of them can't be on the show. Like if Quad gonna be here, then
but Mariah is always not on the show. You have to realize that. Like,
well, she was a friend of the show, but
because there was a point in time
the girls are willing to film with her.
There you go. There's a point in time. This is where the friendship broke down because when Mariah was getting ousted, she also fell out with Quad, and then it became everybody fuck with Quad and nobody fuck with Mariah. So when you had the two, and plus, let's be honest, even though I love both, I actually like both of them. I think they're great for the show.
Yes.
But if I had to pick Miss Quad, period. Miss Quad.
I mean, I'd be cool if she was on the show this season because Mariah is not on the show in any capacity, whether be friend of the show.
She'll be on the show, but she's a friend of the show right now. You know why she's a friend of the show, right?
Because she's executive producer of the show.
No, I'm saying Quad. Why she's
Quad.
a friend of the
show. Mariah's not on the show.
Quad is a friend of the show this season.
Why is she a friend of the show this season?
Because she's not married anymore.
So what?
I know but it's called literally.
You know what?
It's called Married to Medicine.
It's called Real Housewives of Atlanta, and half of them whores are divorced.
But that's
so I mean, come on.
Married to Medicine has consistently like them. When Sharice got divorced, well, no, that was Potomac. I'm sorry, my bad.
That was Potomac.
There was someone on Married to Medicine who used
nobody on Married. Quad is the first person Married to Medicine that got divorced.
You're right.
She was the first. And the thing about it, what sucks is if Quad was a doctor,
she would have stayed.
Then she would still be on the show. But because she was the wife, then it's like, so what is your connection to this whole? What is your medicine connection? So you're literally just a friend of the group. And I'll be honest. I don't think Quad is going to marry a doctor again.
I don't think she's
not
just to be on the show. You know what I would love? For them to just put Quad on Real Housewives.
She should make that move. It'd be cute.
Please, Bravo. Just put Quad on Real Housewives. Please.
You know what?
And it could work because she does know those girls, so it wouldn't be like an unnatural, weird thing.
Hello. And then her and Candy are cool. And you know her and Kenya had friction. So then we could see a little bit of, and Quad would go with Kenya. Quad would not, like, I think if Quad, like, there was a moment where Quad said something about Kenya's mother, and then they were on Watch What Happens Live, and she apologized. That doesn't make me feel that she would be afraid of Kenya. That makes me feel like Quad said something she shouldn't have said and owned up to it. But I think in all this petty stuff Kenya be doing, Quad would have no time. Quad would definitely, especially no, because like as soon as the sad thing about it is, and everybody would be here for that. If we found out Quad was going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know what they need to do? You say reboot. Quad and Tamar Braxton need to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Tamar wouldn't. At this point, Tamar would never. She's trying to rehab her image, and the
last
thing she need to do is go on the show and be messy. Because we already she's trying to rehab her image and be like, I'm not that girl, even though I think in real life she actually is that girl. But
because I mean, Iyanla could even save her image. So you know. Okay.
So speaking on tonight's episode of Married to Medicine, I don't like Toya. Like I've decided at least this season I'm not feeling
It's so hard to like her.
She makes it difficult. She makes it very difficult.
And you know who I'm starting to like is her husband.
I like her husband. I've always liked her husband.
I've never
He's
had
a cool dude.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with her husband.
I like when I say starting to
Eugene
like, it's because
cool.
you have to realize the husbands progressively became a bigger part of the situation. They've always been a part of the situation,
right?
But now I think more so now they are like it just feels different, right? So we get to see more of them, and I think like with Eugene, he always came off to me as a pushover because he was married to Toya.
Right.
But what you're realizing is no, he just likes that his wife is like that. He likes that shit. So it's not that he's pushed over. That shit turns him on. That's what.
And he said that he said that he's like, I like that you have a voice and that you're not afraid to say what you feel, etc. etc.
He was definitely trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah,
he definitely was trying to be diplomatic.
My issue is, Toya. First of all, she's determined to have an issue with Contessa. Like she is hell bent on having an issue with her, and I don't understand why. Like
who is hell bent on having an issue?
I think that Toya is hell bent on having an issue with Contessa.
Let me tell you why. People don't remember this. Contessa's a part of this group because Toya brought her into it.
That's cool. And if you
here's the Toya thing. No. Toya's petty as fuck. And this thing even Heavenly pointed out.
But so is Mariah. But wait.
Yes,
so was Mariah.
And Heavenly feels like this.
Show.
Right. Now you know what's really interesting? I was watching. If you watch season 1, when Toya and Mariah got into that fight, you know the fight I'm talking about? Where the mama jumped in?
Pool. Yeah.
Well, they were near the pool. They didn't fall in, but they fell next to the pool. They
Right.
But Heavenly was standing right there. And Damon. It was Heavenly Damon. It was Heavenly Damon and Toya and Mariah talking to each other. I'm sorry, Heavenly Damon and Mariah were talking to each other, and then Toya came up and said something. Then they moved to the side, and that's where the fight happened. But that was Heavenly.
Okay.
So she's always been a part of this circle. So what it is, girl, you want to come on the show? Yeah, I want to come on the show. And then when they get on the show, they think they're bringing in an ally. But the producers exist.
Right, for a reason.
And shit gonna change. And when she changes, they niggas get in their feelings. Toya brought Contessa on to be an ally for Toya, and then when their relationship didn't settle well, because then I think you realize something. Toya, like she does what she needs to do to stay on that show. Let's be clear. So, and Contessa's a real bitch, okay? And Contessa is not about that fuck shit. So, Contessa, they falling out. And I think now Toya's mad. Like, every time she sees, she's like, the only reason you getting this check, this Bravo check, bitch, is because of me.
But
and she's jealous, she's mad about it.
Sometimes when you come into new groups, you're going to click with other people more. Especially like Contessa is a doctor. So it makes sense to me that she clicks more with the Dr. Simone.
But that's not necessarily true because she also clicked with Quad.
I'm just giving an example. Sometimes when you come into new groups, different people
she clicked with some of the other ladies in the group because they connected in different ways.
Right.
Right.
But when you bring somebody into, and I do believe some of these cast members, they be going, and I'm gonna say emphatically, not Candy, but I believe these other cast members, when they're bringing other people on, they're doing it to have an ally.
They are. They need somebody to be their backbone.
And it blew up in her face. That's obvious.
Oh, but can we talk? So I want to spill the tea. I know we talked about this earlier, but we weren't on the air when I spilled the tea. So for the people out there, the streets say that.
Oh Lord.
So Quad accused Toya having to beg, borrow, and steal to get the house that she's in, the big, huge $1 million home that she's in.
Allegedly.
So the streets are saying that Toya had a friend who was going through a divorce, and the woman gave her some money to hide from her husband during the divorce.
That poor
Toya
woman.
then allegedly, Toya took some of this money and used it to get her house done. And so when the woman went to get her money back, Toya did not have it all. Allegedly.
Why did she give Toya the money if she wanted it back?
Allegedly.
Because her and her husband were divorced.
The same reason why Apollo was trying to hide them damn.
She was like, hide my money so I can keep my money in that bitch.
Yes.
Now that is a sipping Kiki. We need to have a gift so whenever somebody spilled a tea on the show, we could just be like, "Oh my god, oh my god, that's a sipping
especially
Kiki."
hot on that one.
The blogger who said it is friends with Dr. Heavenly and is friends with Quad. So
and let me tell you what I do. I believe that.
I believe it.
I believe it.
It's too specific of a lie for it not to be true.
Period.
Like people don't make up that kind of shit.
Period.
That's way too. Yeah, but
unless
they say
Phaedra,
they
allegedly.
Unless you Phaedra, because Phaedra will just, goddamn, let me pick up this soap and this bleach and concocta. Like, she'll do whatever she got to do. Listen.
I'm sorry. Classic moment is when Kim basically broke down when she got pregnant on the show. You remember when it was at the little baby shower type of thing?
And it didn't add up.
And she was like, hold up. How do you not know when you're due? Like, honey, I used to be a nurse. That doesn't make any sense. Drunk and all, she was able to break that thing all the way down.
And that says something when Kim Zolciak is reading your ass about your hoish nature.
Well, see, here's the thing. Kim Zolciak just plays a dumb blonde. She's not stupid.
I don't think she's dumb. I said when she's reading you about your hoish behavior. This is the thing about Kim Zolciak. I'm so glad that Kim Zolciak is no longer on that show. I can't stand Kim. So glad. But I kind of agree with Tristan now that I've thought about it. It would be nice to have some sort of rebooting of the energies on that show. And I think they're kind of getting there. I actually really like the idea of Real Housewives of Atlanta having 10 cast members. Because that's basically what we've got this season.
10 full-time cast members, like with Peaches?
Well, when you look at this season so far, basically...
They've been auditioning girls, yeah.
But my point is, this entire season, it's been like a group of 10 women. And it actually... And it doesn't feel, to me, overcrowded. It feels interesting. It feels like there's less pressure on some of these, to me.
I think it comes down to this, though.
I agree. And when I'm not saying it's full-time. I'm not saying it's full-time because full-time means we're also going to, like, we haven't been to LaToya's house yet. Right. I agree. I'm saying,
but
what I'm saying is
10 women there are 10 women that we see in and out throughout.
Because what you notice, this is why I'm gonna say that the Love and Hip Hop, why Love and Hip Hop works is because there's cliques, multiple.
So many people on Love and Hip Hop.
There's cliques. There's the people that are in the credits. That's like 6 people, but then the cast member as a whole, it's like 14 or 15 people. And
like
because of that, you can have one-on-one scenes. You can have 3 people. You can have so much shit happening that we can't help but to have some drama. I think Real Housewives of Atlanta is gonna start doing that because that's what it's already giving me right now, and I'm here for it. I'm like, add some more cast members. Just do it. Add 2 or 3 more women to what y'all already have. Don't take nobody peaches. Don't change shit from this year because all this drama from here, just lay it over. Get 1 or 2 more people. Find you that one person who is gonna be like who only wants to get on the show to argue with Kenya. I need that person. That's what I need. I need somebody whose only goal is to fight with Kenya every time they see her.
Listen, they need to get some younger girls.
I think Quad will do it, honey.
Okay, Quad could be a vibe.
I think Quad will do it.
Listen, because Quad not gonna be scared about losing no fan base because Quad has us. Like, let me tell you, if I had to pick between Quad and Kenya,
have the children.
She's got the children.
She definitely has the children.
There's some children that will go, and when we say the children, anybody that's watching,
we mean homosexuals.
We mean the gays, okay? She's got the children. Now, there are some children who are going to be Kenya's. Those children are these children. You know?
The Bugettos.
The
Bugettos.
But we don't really claim them, okay? We claim them on Sundays.
Oh my God.
Pride Week, Pride Weekend, Pride Month. We claim them, when we need to. But
oh my God.
Other than that, we don't claim them. So... The ones we claim, the children, we fuck with Quad. So
why are you like this? Come on now.
Because it's true.
Speaking of the children, can we transition? Because I just really want to talk about this. It's been on my mind since it came out. The Lil Nas X song, video, etc.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about it because I made a whole post. Let me tell you, before we talk about it, I just have to preface with this. Now, when I say this, I really don't want to say this part, but I'm going to say it. Just like you don't have to say, like, if I want to talk about, like, police brutality being an issue, I also understand that there are police that aren't an issue. Just like all black people aren't, let me not even say that one. Just like all men aren't rapists. All like I know right. I don't have to say And if I say something about men being rapists and you get triggered, that says something more about you, because if you're not, like, and just move on, right? So prefacing it with that, the reaction to Lil Nas X's video, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this, has once again reinvigorated my hatred for straight black men.
Yes, talk about it.
Oh my God. It's like, bro, I know straight black men who are just like, he made that video, that nigga's a troll. Let me go fuck my wife. And that's it. Because, like, it's gonna, our youth are impressionable. But somebody on TikTok was like, but last week we were supposed to be on Demon Time. What's wrong?
I'm sorry, we're supposed to be on Demon Time. I'm not catching the reference.
These songs are
songs Demon Time. So Tory Lanez, back before all the Megan stuff happened, when quarantine first started, he started doing these like quarantine lives where there would be girls like twerking and shit. And so people started calling it Demon Time.
Oh,
so
okay.
So Demon Time means like I'm gonna get freaky, I'm gonna do some nasty shit. Like it's late
right.
Demon Time. Like that's when Beyonce says on that Demon Time
she might start at OnlyFans.
Right.
And it's casual, like, but it's okay. So you can say
look,
that.
I'm old now. Hell.
But my point is, you can say that, totally fine. Lil Nas X takes Demon Time to a whole new level. Oh, that's wicked.
Level.
That's wicked. To me, and it's crazy. People are like, I've watched like 8 videos about the symbolic nature and all the symbols in it. And it's like, but to me, as a gay, when I watched it, it kind of made me feel like so happy. And then they were on Watch What Happens Live.
Sorry.
Okay. As long as I'm not going crazy. When I watched it, I was happy because of the fact that like I was looking at him and I was like, you know how they say black people, they be like, you are your ancestors' dreams. That's what he is to me. That's what I see when I see him. I'm like, man, if I could, like, the freedom that he has on that, like, god damn, if I could have had that freedom when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, at his age, and it's just like, it's one of those things that makes you sad that you didn't have that freedom back then, but at the same time, and some gay people did feel like, fuck it, but not all of us. And at the same time, it's just like, but at least the kids coming up after us won't have to feel their repression. Like, I'm glad he broke down that door, and I'm glad people are having the response that they're having, because it's really bringing up the conversation that black people are just homophobic.
Okay. On that note, first of all, I just want to preface by saying, please save your tweets, save your comments. I know you're gonna be mad. Some folks gonna be mad when I say this. I genuinely do not give a fuck.
Actually, don't save the tweets. Tweet and then tweet hashtag sipping Kiki. Hashtag Woe Nelly Media.
Right.
Hashtag.
But I ain't gonna respond to you. I am.
We about to get canceled before we even start. Go ahead.
Okay.
I would never.
I am genuinely bothered, specifically within black culture and the black community, how often people pick and choose what part of Christianity works for them and when they gonna use it. Because what bothers me is all you men is pressed, but how many broken homes have y'all left in the wake of your lives? Ooh. You got how many baby mamas and how many kids out of wedlock? But Little Nas is the problem. Masika tweeted about it. Masika, she was on Love and Hip Hop. She wanna
I know who Masika is. Fetty Wap's baby mama. What she say?
Right. How's all Masika? You of all people should be quiet. Cause you
she didn't say nothing bad.
Yeah, she did. Let me.
What did Masika say? Find it, please.
Nick Young had said something and then backpedaled and pussy pop when the internet gathered his ass together.
I saw the dude from Jagged Edge, who we ain't seen in years, said something about. I'm so tired of this gay agenda bullshit. I'm so tired of that shit.
Wait, was it Woody? Because don't he got a charge?
It was Brian or something. It was Brian, I think. One of the twins. It was one of the twins. Let me tell y'all why I'm tired of the gay agenda. Somebody actually recently unfriended me because they wrote some dumb shit on the internet. And I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, you're clearly part of the agenda. Now, this is someone I've been friends with since I was in 9th grade.
Wow.
And, you're clearly part of the agenda, and you're out to get our children. Girl, let me tell you what. I like niggas in their 50s and 40s, boo. So, like...
He like daddies, for the record. He like daddies.
I want your children. Daddy. I hate children. I don't hate children, but children are mean as fuck. Like, all I want to do when I see a child is boot one of them real bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking like, you're just trying to twist the truth and be wicked toward our youth. Most of us don't want nothing to do with your goddamn kids because you're teaching your kids that same hateful shit that you're talking. So I don't want to, because I can't curse a kid out. I curse you out.
But you know what? There is an agenda, and let me explain what I mean by that. I think that there is nothing wrong with, I want to word this carefully because
please do. Woe Nelly Media is not responsible for this.
Right.
Well, you should have put that up on the beginning.
I did. It's at the beginning. It is. It's up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important that kids growing up. I think it's important that when kids are growing up, they do see certain things or see that certain things are possible. And let me explain. If you're a gay kid, right? And when you're growing up, you watch TV and all you see is straight couples and you see straight love scenes and you see straight adult content, then you're going to feel like, okay, something is wrong with me because everything that I'm ingesting and I'm seeing is telling me that what I'm doing is odd, it's different, it's wrong. Mm-hmm. But if you have someone like Lil Nas X who puts this video out, I'm not saying that it's clearly not content for children, but children see things. At least now, a gay kid can say, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not weird or I'm not wrong because here is an example of an adult person having those kinds of desires. Am I making sense?
Yes, but I want to caveat and clarify some things that I think may be lost in translation with what you just said. So I think it's important to understand there's a difference between saying that a gay agenda, like the gay agenda, exists in the aspect of this, which is I'm interpreting what you said. I'm telling you what I heard. The gay agenda exists in the aspect of teaching children who are gay already that it's okay to be gay. Versus what straight people claim the gay agenda is teaching children that wouldn't be gay to be gay.
And that's the ideology.
Wait, I'm not done. The evidence is this. Well, if we start accepting, because I watched that debate the other night on Politically Provoked, which is a great show. If you ain't seen it, go see Politically Provoked.
That'd be too much.
But the man on Politically Provoked, he said, if we start accepting gay people, more people are going to start coming out of the closet. Yes, nigga, but that doesn't mean that we're creating more gay people. It just means that the gay people there are gay men and women who die never having come out of the closet. So you count them as one of yours, as one of your straights, but they were never straight. They just never came out. And so you think allegedly acceptance doesn't mean we're promoting being gay and being like, let me tell you what gay people don't do. We don't knock on your doors and hand you a pamphlet, child.
Okay.
We don't do that. We don't knock on your door and say, have you heard the good message of all our fault? I'm sorry. I was about to say some righteous shit. Have you heard the good message of homosexuality? Have you heard? No, we don't do that. What we do is we're just like, oh, you're gay. You deserve love.
No, ma'am.
That's what we do. We accept for the most part, not these, but the regular children. We accept.
I will say this about the song. I'm not the song doesn't. The song itself.
Of course you don't like it, Tristan. Name 5 songs you like. I'm just playing. I don't.
That's not by Ariana Grande.
Right. That's not by Ariana Grande.
I can name you 5 songs that I like that about.
Wait.
Black
Name 5 songs that you like by an artist that you don't listen to often.
7th Streeter has this song called "Guilty" that just.
I said that you don't listen to. You talk about 7th Streeter all the time.
Okay. Let's see. I'm pulling up my Apple Music.
Okay. While you do that, and we'll find that update on episode 2 because that's how long this gonna take. Because
anyway,
why y'all? I didn't even do that.
If it's not Ariana Grande, Tristan ain't checking for him.
Oh,
lies. But I love the video. I think the concept of the video is really dope. I think the video is well done. I love that he's living his best gay bottom fantasy in the video.
You think he's a bottom?
I think he said in a song something about bottom on the low. Like he said, like this is in a song.
You think he's a bottom?
He literally says in the song, "I bottom on the low."
So he said it in a song doesn't mean it's true.
Bottom. He gives me bottom vibes.
He gives you would know, so I'm gonna take it.
And maybe he gave a lap dance to the devil. Doesn't mean he did it. I mean, yeah.
To himself,
I'm saying
a lap dance to himself as a devil, which was the vibes.
The devil wasn't him. Maybe it was.
It was. Go back. It was. Go back.
Everyone else in the video was him, so I guess it would make sense that the devil was him too.
It is him. He talks about this. He talks about this in a
That's bullshit. Let me tell you what it was. That was a double at best. It had to be a double. There's no way you can physically interact with yourself.
Obviously, like clearly, when he's dancing on himself, there are parts.
But it was. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But they in the right. And I think there are parts where there's a dance double for him, and then there's a double for the devil too. So I think they're like
there's a lot of editing in the video.
And the serpent, yeah, all that good shit.
Right. But it's supposed to be him as like, he's all the characters in the video, which I found to be very, very, very.
That makes
very
sense
cool.
because I mean the song was allegory for his own personal trauma.
It's more than trauma. It's more than trauma. It's more than trauma. I think it's just this is the thing about it. Like when you really listen to the lyrics. He's not.
Don't get emotional.
You wouldn't know. Let's be clear. You wouldn't know if you weren't gay. Period. And I don't mean gay man. I mean you wouldn't know if you weren't gay because a lot of shit he's talking about, you just won't get. You won't get it. You will think it's about something else, but you don't get what it's like to be always told that you're wrong for these things that happen that you can't control. Right? His song was basically saying, you know, this is my experience, which as an artist. He's not supposed to, and I don't even want to have this conversation, but I think we have to.
Oh, God.
An artist is not supposed to create art about your child's experiences. Why? How the fuck would they even do that? Like,
well, art is personal. I think specifically when we're speaking about and like that kind of artistry, that's extremely personal. So I don't know. And
any art is personal, but the difference is when you look at music, you have words, right? Well, if I'm painting something, I can paint something telling the same message with no shape. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's different from like if you're an actor in a movie, right? You didn't write that movie. That character isn't necessarily your personal experience.
I disagree.
No,
this is why I disagree.
Oh God.
As an actor, okay? I disagree because you are still culpable for the art you attach yourself to professionally. Look at how we treat Zoe Saldana for playing Nina Simone.
I don't disagree with
that.
Oh
my God. You know what? Hold up, pause. I have to have a moment for that bullshit. How the fuck did she thought she was gonna be able to play a young Nina Simone?
And you know, she honestly, I heard an interview where she's like, now she's like totally apologetic about it. She wishes she never did it.
Very apologetic about it.
She said she felt like because she was black, she had the right. Not the right, but she felt like she was. Well, look, I'm not saying that it was right, but I mean, what can she do about it now other than be remorseful? I feel the same.
People told her
she shouldn't have did it. People did.
People were telling her in the midst of it.
Are we canceling Zoe? We can't cancel Zoe.
I'm not canceling Zoe, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and act like she's a victim.
I ain't cancel nobody. I don't cancel nobody. My dad is Jehovah's Witness.
Didn't y'all just say y'all wasn't watching nothing with Cynthia or Revio?
Not a goddamn thing.
That's
not a motherfucking thing.
So
I didn't cancel her. There's a difference between me deciding not to watch. There's a difference between me deciding not to watch her stuff because she betrayed me and Jennifer and Aretha. That's a difference between that and saying that she's canceled.
The queens.
You don't disrespect queens that came before you, okay? Boo. You don't do that with your ass from over there. Let me stop before I get mad. But my point is saying, saying that I'm not watching her shit is not the same as me saying that she should be canceled. That's me deciding to have a personal response to her work. Canceling is saying we are not doing Cynthia Erivo. And clearly people are watching that damn fucking thing about Aretha Franklin. You know what? Let's talk about it for 3 seconds.
People say the tea is piping hot.
Let me tell you, this is the issue that I have with that. I watched... What's the woman's name? Wendy Williams. I watched her review of it. The reason she thinks it's so good is because she says it's going to be better than the Jennifer Hudson version because she said the Jennifer Hudson version isn't going to dig into all of the salacious parts of.
Kind of like her movie.
Aretha's.
Kind of like her movie didn't.
Well, this is my issue.
Executive producer of her movie.
Hello. This is my issue with that concept. Especially when you look at the people who created Genius, how they said they wanted to make a movie that celebrated the intelligence and the artistry and the brilliance of her art. Yet the things that people are excited about are the fucked up shit that happened to her in her life.
Well, you know, people always want to look.
So that's my issue. It's like, no, you actually you don't care about her art. You know that people want to see drama. They want to see her dad being an asshole. They want to see that fucked up shit. So you're claiming to do it in the name of honoring her art, yet her art isn't the focal point. That her art isn't the thing people are taking away from this is awesome. The thing people are taking away from, oh, this is good because the tea is hot. So is the tea hot because her music is great, or is the tea hot because you're finding out fucked up shit about her and her life that she didn't want us to know? And the reason I have issue with that is we think that because a person is a celebrity that we have a right to their personal drama. The story that she wanted told about her life, she made it very clear which story she wanted told about her life. That's her life. It's not ours. It's not. So therefore, now that she's dead, people have decided, fuck that. We're going to tell the story we want to tell. We're going to call the people who are not her family, because her family has actively boycotted this. We're going to call the industry people that knew her, get their accounts of it, industry people being all about money, and we're going to create this other story that's going to generate more money. So what it says is you don't care about the woman, you don't care about the artistry, because you would respect her wishes if you did. What you cared about is how best to capitalize off of a dead woman's memory. And as a black woman who is a singer and who is an actor, the fact that she would then sign on to do that project with all of that information means I don't have respect for her, not only as an artist, but also as a person.
I mean, here's my deal, and because I just feel differently. I just feel
look,
differently.
Rakia backstage cracking the fuck up.
I get your point, but like I ain't trying to fight about. I ain't trying to fight about it because it's not that deep for me. But I will say this much: I personally, I don't like sanitized. If we're gonna tell someone's story, someone's life story, right? I don't like sanitized versions of them. I don't like the whitewashing or the rewriting of history because someone doesn't like certain things about
their
life.
There's a difference between whitewashing and...
I'll let you speak.
Let me say this one part, Tristan, because my memory bad. There's a difference between whitewashing and sanitizing something and not telling you the entire story. Because if you look at What's Love Got to Do with It, What's Love Got to Do with It was much more a story about her relationship with Ike than it was about Tina. That's just the story that you decide to tell.
I haven't seen the movie, nor have I seen the TV show yet, so I can't even speak on them too much. But right. I will say this, and I think I said this to you before. I feel like for someone like Aretha Franklin, I think a movie does not give you enough time. Even if we were just talking about how great she was.
With that, I can even agree. I can agree with that point.
If we just leave out all the salacious stuff.
But that's not what they did. And that's the issue I have. It's like, if I died say for instance, I became Beyonce, right? And I was like Beyonce famous, right? And somebody's going to make a movie about me at some point, right? Now, me as a person, I think we have to understand when we want to compare Aretha to What's Love Got to Do with It. That's what I'm hearing a lot of people do. But you can't do that. Guess why you can't do that? Tina Turner was on fucking set.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
No, don't move past that. Don't move past it.
I didn't move.
Tina
I'm
Turner.
not moving past it. I'm not moving past it, but I'm gonna say this. Aretha, from what I understand, I ain't never met Aretha Franklin. I don't know her from a can of paint. I don't know her personally. But I just know the people who knew her personally don't have nice things to say about her. So therefore, I'm not really caught up. I have no desire to see some movie that is like a unrealistic version of who Aretha Franklin was. Let's leave out the childhood stuff. Just you professionally. You professionally was shady.
But how do you know that that's what the Jennifer Hudson movie is going to give?
Again, from what I can, I haven't seen the movie or the TV show, so I can't talk about either one of those things. You haven't seen the TV show, and you just listed a whole...
I've seen parts of the TV show. Let's be clear. I will not watch the whole thing because I'm not putting money into that woman's pockets, but I've seen some clips.
But
YouTube
it's cool,
is a
whatever.
thing.
Like I told you, Aretha Franklin ain't mine.
Let me tell you the issue I had. This is the issue I had. Ooh, I'm so shady for saying this.
Well, hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought.
Stop me from being
hold
shady.
that thought.
Thank you.
Because my personal issue is that Ray Charles as well as Tina Turner were on set for those movies. Unfortunately, Aretha Franklin wasn't able to because of
But
COVID.
this was the project she greenlit this project.
But her project, she greenlit Jennifer Hudson's project.
This is the project she's not here to do it.
This is what she wanted. She stated while she was alive she did not want a TV series done as a bio at all.
She wanted a big budget movie, because she wanted the glitz, Hudson. The grant. She wanted the event of a movie, and they took that. Even though they're still doing the movie now, it will forever be compared to this. It will forever be a shadow of this. It will never be the thing that she wanted it to be. What happened was we took her life and stole it. We made it about us. We made it about what we wanted to encounter. We want the salacious tea, but it's her life.
Because every autobiography that's made has the approval of everyone it's about.
No, but we don't support. That's a real thing, right? Did you support? Wait, but did you support the Aaliyah biography that her family rejected? No. Did you support? I didn't watch it. It wasn't good. But what I'm saying is, my point is, we don't
poorly done.
But that we don't support these things because to me, I didn't watch it.
Done.
To me, I didn't watch it because her family didn't want it watched.
I didn't give a fuck about how they felt about it. I watched it and it wasn't good.
Why didn't you give a fuck? Why didn't you give a fuck? Because to you, it's more important that you get what you want out of this artist's life. I think you're one of those people, Tristan. Let me say it away. I think you're one of those people who feel like these artists owe you their existence.
Oh, owes me anything. I don't think. No, hold on. Let's be clear. I don't think anyone owes me anything. But what I will say and be very clear about is the fact. I'm so sorry. I don't feel bad for anyone who has amassed a great career and made lots of money, and now you just because someone made a movie about you that you don't like, or a TV show about you that you don't like. Cry me a fucking river, man. Like legitimately, I don't get like.
I guess you don't like Meghan Markle.
Let me put that into perspective. Let's say, for instance, tomorrow some fucked up shit happens to you, right? Not like death fucked up, just right. But let's take person
somebody making a movie about you that you don't like.
Okay, let's say for instance that happened to you. Let's say for instance that happened to you. Let's say for instance somebody decided who knew you to write a story that involved you and it painted you in a really horrible picture.
Famous in this scenario?
No. Because the difference is you're not rich and famous compared to Aretha Franklin, but to a lot of motherfuckers in this world, you have a house, you have a car, you have fucking iPod. My point is this. Yes, you have an apartment. I've been in goddamn jail with niggas who are afraid of going home because when they go home, they won't have shit. So my point is to say this. You, to a lot of people, are rich. Does that mean that you also don't have problems? Does that mean because you have luxuries that your problems are not significant and that they don't matter?
I will put it this way. There have been people who have said not nice things about me. Can I be real? I don't actually give a fuck. I'm not just saying that. I don't. I really don't. If you're not in my everyday life and you know what I'm saying, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I get that, but typically within Hollywood,
take it, Mo, please.
if you're doing a movie or a biopic and you don't have the approval of either the family or the actual artist that you're doing the movie about, the movie does poorly.
So the King family wasn't. The King family wasn't cool on Selma, and Selma did great and was a brilliant movie.
Look, but this, to be honest, like. What happens is, and this is the danger, what happens is...
It's a bigger risk.
What if some of the stuff that they're saying about Aretha Franklin is just not true? Or they're saying it in a way, or they're saying true things, but they're spinning it in a way that is good. Let's be clear, because we just talked about producers on Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? How they'll take a thing that's not a thing and make it interesting for the purposes of viewership. What do you think the producers did? Because you have to realize, here's the real tea about the family being involved with this movie. They didn't boycott the movie. Aretha Franklin's family didn't actually try to stop this event. What they did was they reached out to them and said, hey, y'all are doing this thing about our grandmother, our family. We just want to be a part of it. This is the issue I have. It'd be different if their family was saying, don't do it, and we don't want nothing to do with it. But the studio was reaching out to them saying, please be a part of this. Please be a part of it. Because that would tell me that the intent was to be respectful. But the opposite is what was true. The family was reaching out to the studio, and the studio was like, we don't want the family involved. We don't want to deal with the family. We don't want nothing that they have to say. Which tells me they had no intent to respect this woman's legacy. Which is why when they put out this, National Geographic put out this statement basically saying, we just want to honor the artistry of Aretha. Yet the reviews are all talking about the fucked up shit that her father did to her. The fact that she had these babies early. That's what people are talking about. So it's like, you had to talk about her having babies to focus on her career. You had to you had to focus on her father being an asshole to talk about her artistry, being a genius. You had to do that. You couldn't just like show her writing amazing songs. You couldn't like, and to me, it's like this. Don't lie. You wanted to make you want not you. Allegedly. I'm talking. What I'm saying is we don't know. When I say don't lie, I mean don't lie and say that you want to make something honoring her genius. When the truth is, you want to make a highly entertaining, salacious, drama-filled thing that tells all the dirt about this artist. That's the truth.
And furthermore, I find it interesting how they didn't, a lot of artists of a certain persuasion, they like to whitewash their images. And I noticed that really didn't happen from what I'm hearing with Aretha Franklin. It seemed like they kind of turned it up to 11. And that's kind of like, damn, I mean, this just feels really disrespectful.
That's what it feels like. It feels disrespectful. It's like, let's take the queen of
Y'all say it's disrespectful, but for me, I'm gonna let it go because I just disagree.
Well, this is your fault because you brought it up.
You brought it up.
I did not bring up this show.
You did.
You did.
You brought up the fact that we want to cancel Cynthia Erivo.
And I left it at that. You said, well,
no, you brought it up, nigga. You knew not to bring this shit up. Let me tell you, anybody watching, don't buy into this shit, Tristan, because we told his ass off camera that we don't want to talk about this shit and that we don't fuck with her. And he had the nerve, like, you are a hypocrite. Let me tell you why you're a hypocrite, Tristan.
Set us up for the gag.
Let me tell you why you're a hypocrite. Let me tell you why you're a hypocrite, Tristan. You just said you don't like when niggas call people out in front of people, and you literally did that to me by saying, well, what about you trying to cancel Cynthia Erivo? And you tried to call me out.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we're talking about it now because you brought this shit up.
My point is, I don't think it's about necessarily being salacious or that kind of thing. I forgot, Ava DuVernay did an interview talking about Martin Luther King, and she talked about how part of when she made her movie, what she wanted to do is oftentimes we have people that are our heroes, or we see them as our heroes, and we put them on a pedestal and we don't humanize them. And I think that there is something to be said about knowing someone's true story and kind of realizing that, someone went through some bad shit and they still overcame and had a great career and a great life.
But does that mean, I'm fine with that, but does that mean that just because a person is famous, that we as people who don't know these people have a right to their personal life?
Can I be honest? I'm gonna tell you something, and some people disagree. This is my opinion. This is where I am on it. Everything comes with a price. Nothing in life.
That's not what I said. I didn't say.
That's his roundabout saying. That's his roundabout way without sounding like an asshole to say yes. That's what he's doing.
Just say yes.
Let me finish. I want to explain. Everything comes with a price. So yes, if you want to be rich and you want to be famous, part of the price to be rich and famous is people are going to have access to your personal life when maybe you don't want them to. I'm not saying I think it's right, and I don't think that I have a right. I'm just saying that is legitimate.
But that's what I asked. I didn't ask if that's what happens. That's not what a question that I asked. What I said was, do we have a right to other people's lives because they're famous? So the question is,
do you think it's right for them to do it?
Yes.
Well, I think it's...
I'm not saying does it happen, because that goes beyond a shadow of a doubt. Of course it happens. But do we have a right to someone's personal life because they're famous? Because if that's the case...
Do people have the right to make content about something? Yes. People have the right to
make I didn't say do they have the right to make content. I said do we don't change. I'm asking a very clear question.
You're trying to answer a question with a question.
Do we have a right? No, I'm asking a very straightforward question. Do we as the general public have the right to a person's private life because they're famous? Okay. And now remember this, because you're definitely on the national internet, and if we ever blow up, don't try to be private.
First of all,
try to be private.
First of all, I'm not that private right now in my regular. Like, I come on here and tell all my business. I hit on niggas in the public, so clearly I'm not that private.
That's not the. But hitting on niggas might not be the thing. So you telling me Tristan, you don't got nothing that you don't want other people to know?
Lord, we
lie. Okay, we're gonna move on. Cause I'm gonna have to cut Tristan out when we get off camera. We're gonna move on.
First of all,
because I don't believe that. I know.
Are there things that I would rather people not know? Sure. If people found out what I like,
that's not the same though. Because my point is saying there are things that you don't want people to know. Will you deal with it if it happens? That's what we'll all fucking do. But it doesn't mean that there aren't things that we don't want people to know because it's not their goddamn business.
If I was rich and famous and people wanted to know about me, it wouldn't bother me. I would legitimately say
if I was rich and famous, I'm on that Beyonce, period. Okay?
That's
period.
Fine.
I'm on that Beyonce. Guess why? Because I'm that bitch. Anyway, so let's move on.
Can I just be rich without being famous? Is that okay?
Right.
You can if you're like, there's rich people who aren't famous. There's plenty of them.
But, which is a very different thing.
But listen, the thing about it is, it sucks because when you want to make art, and she has always been she's literally made a career. Let's be clear. Aretha Franklin kept her name out of tabloids when she could, right? She made a career out of it being the thing people have always remembered Aretha Franklin for was what?
But that's because she came from a different time.
No. The thing that people that's not true. The thing that people remembered when a lot of other artists were getting high, what she did was people like. And when I talk to my grandma loves Aretha Franklin, but my grandma always says she could sing her ass off and she could drink just as much. That's what people knew. Aretha Franklin liked her liquor and she could sing her ass off. But she did a very
allegedly when she made that song Respect, she was getting her ass towed in by her husband allegedly. And that's the reason why she made that song. So she's went through a lot of pain and a lot of salacious stuff going on, but you didn't hear about it because that wasn't needed.
That's not what she wanted to be.
Well, she didn't need to do that because of her talent. But there was plenty of other artists that had a lot of shit in the tabloids, even though it was papers back then.
Y'all listen, I'll be back. Whatever y'all end up talking about, I'll be back. It's gonna take 2 seconds. But feel free.
Oh well, can we transition? Because y'all know.
Yeah, I figured you're gonna transition anyway. What do you want to transition to? Okay, this is a sipping Kiki first. I'm gonna just say this on this episode, so when it happens in future episodes, I've at least said it now, and we're gonna do like the Real Housewives producers, and we're gonna cut back to this clip of me saying this. Tristan is the start a fight type of nigga, and then leave the fight type of nigga.
I don't start.
Tristan will start a fight, pretend like he didn't start the fight, and they be like, "Can we not talk about this anymore?" So I'm just preparing you for it. Like you can literally rewind to earlier when he was like, he brought up canceling Cynthia Erivo.
I literally made an offhanded joke, and you did a whole song. So
took the bait.
We're gonna talk about it. Let's just talk about
Tristan. This is literally the second time you've brought this up. This is the second time you brought this up in less than 3 hours. And the first time you brought it up, it was made very clear that neither one of the two people you're talking to want to deal with this person.
All right.
I'll be back because I will curse this nigga out on national internet.
Y'all know I listen.
International internet, honey. International.
Y'all know how I felt about it. Like
that's fine.
I like Cynthia Erivo. I think she's cool. She's a cute chick.
Yeah, they'd like to talk about people as ghetto, but I mean, hey.
Y'all, listen now. If we don't start canceling talk somebody ghetto.
She was 26 when she was making.
But if we don't start canceling call somebody ghetto, like
no. A white man had asked her to do something, and she responded in kind in ghetto vernacular.
Okay.
And it was like, oh, okay, so basically
she not allowed to use ghetto vernacular?
To that white man in context, that was you was doing a damn near minstrel moment.
Who was the white man?
I can't remember. Some dude on the internet. But again,
okay.
I was like, we've seen her true colors because basically she's black when it's convenient. Other times, she's part of another group, and I'm not gonna even go there anymore because I don't want to get canceled.
Oh Lord! So I guess the last thing we can talk about is Derek Jaxn because it's a lot. It's the ghetto. So for all of you guys who don't know, Derek Jaxn is a very famous Instagram relationship guru. He gives advice to women on relationships, mostly women. Like that's mostly what his advice is geared towards. He started this whole Black Men Don't Cheat movement. There were T-shirts. I think there's a book. Is there a book?
Yeah, he was hawking a book in the midst of
He was hawking a book and shit.
In the midst of this, yes.
So then this YouTuber, Tasha K, exposed him for being a filthy cheater and philanderer on his wife.
Talking about Derek Jaxn.
We are the Derek Jaxn. Now, I want to preface what I'm about to say with this. Derek Jaxn is a fuckboy. I already kind of had figured he was a piece of shit before this happened. So I want to get that out the way. He's a fuckboy. He ain't shit. He's an awful person. You shouldn't cheat on your spouse. That's bad.
He said that himself.
Cheat on your spouse is not cute.
I didn't realize you shouldn't cheat on your spouse. I thought that's what spouses were for. However, that's how straight people act.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Some of my best friends are straight.
I'm sorry. I just heard somebody go like, "Oh my God, gay people are just so promiscuous, and that's their problem." I said, "Because straight people never cheat. Straight men never cheat. Divorce isn't at a 52%. No, from cheating. No, it's not. Anyway, I'm sorry,
60% African American communities.
So I'll be real with y'all. I felt really sad for his wife until
you saw that video she put up talking about her bonnet being her warrior.
Yes,
girl, girl.
Y'all know she in the sunken place. Don't do her like that.
When I saw that shit, I was like, she said, "You see a bonnet? I see a headdress of God." I said, "Bitch, that's a beanie."
She said it's a battlefield or it's a war for the soul,
or something like that.
It was a lot.
I said, "Bitch, that's wool."
No.
On your goddamn head. That's what that is.
Hey, it's wool on my head. Hey, don't judge. Don't judge the 4C.
I'm not even mad.
Shout out to my 4C crowd, all right?
I'm not even mad that she was on the air, looking the way she wanted to look.
I am. I'm mad about that.
I'm mad that she was minding her business, about to go to sleep, and he brought her ass on the air. That's what I'm mad about. I'm mad at his ass.
That I'm mad about, because he had no reason involving her in that. But her looking,
because he's trying to salvage his image. Come on,
but I agree with Charlamagne when Charlamagne said, "Why would you involve you when you were cheating? Your wife wasn't involved, so she shouldn't be involved." We don't know that
allegedly,
but she shouldn't be involved with you trying to play cleanup. And I agree with that, because it makes it about her. Because honestly, I'm sorry, the conversation, because he involved her, shifted to her.
But part of that too is because my thing is, if you are going to bring your wife on camera, you are someone you are familiar with social media. You know how social media works. You know how people on social media are. You know how things can be perceived. Why would you not say to your wife, "Hey, let's get camera ready. If we're gonna do this, let's do it in a way that is not gonna get us read up into."
I'm sorry, I read the comment.
But I had a thought. I think he chose her because she's a broken woman. I think she was broken before the cheating stuff happened.
I don't think she's broken. I think.
Bruh, that you didn't get broken woman from that video.
I did not. What I got from her video.
I can see that. And it wasn't Tristan. I can see that.
Okay, this is what I got, because I watched that other video, bits and pieces of it, when she was talking about God and stuff, and I said
it was a lie.
I said, oh, that made. Once I saw her video about God, at first I was like, watching him hold her hand like that, it did feel like blink twice if you save, sis. It really did. But then when I saw her video by herself, I was like, oh no, you really are the type of person that whenever anything fucked up happens around you, it's the devil. And it is never the person's fault that did the fucked up thing. It's the devil. So therefore, when the person,
they're not responsible.
Right. And I don't think it's broken. What I think is, sadly, because I'm in a mood today, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm kind of sick of straight people today.
Oh my, wait a minute.
I mean, not all straight people, and I hate that I have to say all straight people, but the straight people that like to have this
run for cover.
The straight people that like to have this narrative of a woman is supposed to be in the house. Okay, if your wife wants to be in the house, that's fine for your wife. But the rest of the wives out here who don't want to be in the goddamn house, that's not your job to tell them where they should and should not be. It's not, and I think that she's a victim of that mentality, the mentality of black men are this thing, black straight men are this awesome,
I
almighty
agree.
thing, and everything that's
I
not
think,
black and straight and male is a problem, and therefore she seems to me like a victim of that mentality to end up with a dude like him, and then when he not only dogs her out because there's been multiple mistresses. Mistresses.
One got pregnant, allegedly had an abortion.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my God.
Let's be clear.
Like, how are you married to a nigga like this, and then it comes out, and then you go.
Up until
But what we shouldn't do though is blame the wife though.
I'm not blaming her. What I'm saying is,
or
I don't
even
think
insinuate that.
I'm not. I'm, okay, if I sound like I'm insinuating,
it's coming off like that.
That's
a
not
bit.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it doesn't come off to me that she's a broken. It comes off to me because broken to me would signify that she's been just through a bunch of bullshit with a lot of other
That's
niggas.
Fair.
What I read that as is, it might, but what it came off to me as was she's a product of a certain type of thinking that is pushed very heavily in our community. The three of us have all heard it.
Yeah.
This idea of you're a woman.
I think that's why he chose her as his wife, though, because he knew. Because they,
of course,
from what I understand, and from what I understand, they've been together since they were like 19 years,
in high school,
19 years old. High school, right? So I think he knew that she was that kind of woman, so he knew that he could get away with the shit he's doing. I will say this, and this is just my opinion. I'm not blaming her, but this is just me. If I'm gonna get on camera with my nigga who been cheating on me, when you see me on camera, I'm gonna be snatched. Period.
But this is why I don't think that's fair. Let me tell because let me tell you why, Tristan. What you're saying is very much rooted in misogyny.
Bro, here's the deal. This is just me, and let me be clear. I grew up in a household where whenever
I'm
you
about to read you,
house,
Tristan. I'm telling you, better think it again. Think it again.
I'm just explaining me and how I grew up. I can only tell how I grew up. I grew up in a house where when you leave the house, whenever you leave the house, my mom would say, when you step out of this house, you look like you belong to somebody.
Don't leave, Mo, because I need you to witness.
That's how I grew up. You put your best foot forward.
Okay.
Now, that's just what you do. You always look as good as you can be for whatever.
Say what you just wait. Say what you just said again from the best foot part.
You put your best foot
No,
forward.
you said always. I need that to be in it. So you said
when you step out the house and you go in public, you always put your best foot forward.
Pause. Pause right there. Look, let's just live in that moment because I'm winding up to bat the fuck out of you right now. So,
is it in a white t-shirt?
No, I'm not. What was you wearing before you had the white t-shirt on, boo?
I look snatched in my robe, so that's fine.
Girl, bye. No, nigga. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. This nigga has shot. No. Because I've seen Tristan. I know Tristan. I've known Tristan since I was 18 years old. Tristan, when he steps out of the house, has on crisp motherfucking jeans, a colored shirt. It's always colored. It's always got something on it that says something. It's some jewelry somewhere. This nigga's got on nice shoes. But when he does sipping Kiki, it's a robe and a t-shirt. So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear that bullshit you're talking about presenting yourself for the world, because you was about to get in the world. It might be 4, 5, 6 people in this motherfucking audience right now, but you knew you was going to be in public.
First of all, I look good. I look good as fuck.
And thank you for watching. Now. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You look good. No. But, I'm not saying. Okay, yes. Right. Let's stop right there. You do look good, Tristan. And so
she didn't look good.
That's
no,
your.
Don't tell that. Don't tell that lie.
She did. With the bonnet on. She did look good. She did.
I disagree. She looked sad.
Guess what? What you're saying right now?
Well, I mean, her husband just got outed for cheating on her several times, so I wouldn't particularly expect her to look her best either. Like she's living her best life. Come on now, Tristan.
What you're saying right now. Wait, let me say this real quick, because it's really important. Even if you don't agree with me, I think there needs to be a man or someone that. The reason I say a man saying what I'm about to say, it's not to just be that I'm right. I think there needs to be a voice that says the rhetoric you're spewing right now is based in misogyny. The fact that you're allowed to get on TV after throwing off a robe, literally just throwing it off.
Put his bitch back on.
Right. You were able to just throw off a robe. You're literally in your pajamas right now. And you're supposed to look good. But for her to look good, she would have to put on makeup, a wig, eyelashes or whatever. But the part you're right now, you're naked, right? You don't have no makeup on, do you?
No, not right now. No.
You don't have no makeup on. No. Stop. Her skin was fine too. My point is,
it was fine.
She had no makeup on, just like you. She had no fancy accoutrement, just like you right now. And you're saying, but I look good, and she didn't. What didn't she look good with? Like what part of what she had on?
You're attaching things to me. I never. Sis didn't need to have on.
I'm asking why she didn't look good. Explain. And how it's different from what you're saying. She was in a bad mood.
She looked like she had just woke up. I looked very.
She probably did.
Nigga, you literally were in your robe before we got on air. Stop.
I'm in my robe all the time. That doesn't mean
girl, no, you're not. I can go to your Facebook right now and tell you you're not in your robe all the time.
So here's the deal. I have never gotten on your show. If I got on this show with my do-rag on, if I got on this show with a face mask on, that's a comparison.
So why is that equivalent?
To me, the equivalent of
no, I'm saying why is equivalent? Why? Why is it like you're saying that the way she was dressed, which is just her, that's how she dresses. She wears that hat. It was not a bonnet. That was a beanie. That was a beanie she had on. It might have looked like a bonnet, but it was a beanie. It was wool. No, it was wool. You can go back and look at it. It's one of those hats that
I believe you.
You know, one of the little hipster hats that look like baggy.
Right.
That's all it was. It just was sitting on her head in a way that looked like a bonnet. But it was a beanie. It was a beanie. Go back and look at it. It was a beanie, and she had on a black. She had on a beanie and another black sweater, which literally was, and some black boots and some black jeans. So what's the difference? You're equating what she had on, which is literally an outfit, to you being in the midst of doing cosmetic care, like a mask. How is that the same? Because as a woman, you would expect her. No, what you're doing is you're not accepting that there's a different standard because she's a woman, and that is based on misogyny.
I'm not denying that there's not a different standard.
That's what I'm saying. It's based in misogyny.
What he's saying is that he don't care that there's a different standard.
And it's based on misogyny. And that's the problem. That's why I said there needs to be a voice, because the truth of it is I don't like people saying that it's not fair for her to look how she looked on the thing, because what if that's just how she wanted to fucking look?
I do believe that it's her personal style.
That's what I do too. Like when you look at the rest of
where she had a suit on.
When you look at the rest of her,
on camera.
That's all fucked up to say to me, because it's like if you look at the rest of her pictures, pictures. What you're saying is basically, since he was about to put her in front of TV, he should have made her look like somebody she wasn't.
I'm going to say she shouldn't have been on camera, because why would you drag her into your mess?
That is a different statement. That's not the statement you've been making. The statement you've been making was that she did.
But wait, Dureyea, he has been making that statement, but he's also been stating that she dressed frumpy. That's what he's been saying.
He said that if you know all this stuff about social media, so why would you have your wife on there looking like that? That's how she looks.
Fine thing to say.
But that's not fine, because it's like this. What was the alternative, Tristan? Because that's how she dresses. That's how she chooses to dress. If she was looking, let be clear. If you look at her Facebook history, you would immediately find, oh, that's how she likes to dress. So if she looked any different than that, that would actually, to me, be a problem. Because what that would say is, you force this woman to adorn clothing that she doesn't normally wear for your benefit. I think it would have been worse if she was done up for this, personally, because that's not who she is as a person.
Not only that, the trolls would then attack her, saying, well, if you was doing that during your marriage, he wouldn't have been out there cheating. So the
trolls are dragging her how she looked anyway.
The trolls are going to troll.
They're going to definitely troll, but why add to it?
I guess for me, it just seems like, okay, I know how I'm a famous person. I know how social media can be.
She's not, though.
Well, you're right. You know what? If that's her look and that's how she looks all the time, then it is what it is.
Because what are you going to say? Like, all right, wife, that you always dress like this. I need to do this video. But first, I need you to do all this extra shit. What is her response? Right. Why? I don't want to do that. I don't want to put on makeup. I don't want to put on a wig. This is what the fuck I have on. Because she's clearly that woman who doesn't care. So for us to say that she was supposed to look... I really didn't like, even when Charlamagne said it, I didn't like that, because that's misogyny. That says, in order for her to be presented to the world, she has to look a certain way. But I can get on here with a t-shirt after having thrown my robe off.
I mean, my skin busting, my hair is wavy. I can't.
Her skin is busting, and her hair is actually very pretty.
But she should have showed it because I don't know what.
But she didn't want to.
I couldn't see it.
But she didn't want to. Why is her hair your property? Why do you get to decide?
First of all, I guess for me, I base my life and I base things in realism. And realistically, we know that misogyny is a thing. We understand how social media works. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying it is.
But you're saying accept it.
I'm saying for me, if I was her, I would have not gotten on the internet looking like that, letting the internet roast me.
Got you.
I would have kept.
But
my
guess
ass
what? You're
off
not,
it.
Tristan.
I
Guess
would
what?
have
You're
kept my ass
not.
off the
Guess what?
internet.
You're not.
I'm not a woman. But if my husband cheat, I promise you, if I had a boyfriend and he cheated on me and we have to get on camera together, bitch, I'm wearing a fucking Gucci ass suit and my face is gonna be beat. I'm gonna have me a cross.
But that's not fair because what you're doing, you're imposing your ideologies as a man. You are a man. You're imposing your ideologies as a man onto a woman and saying because she didn't adhere to those that there's something wrong. When at the truth of it, you saying if you got cheated on, that's what you would have done. If she got cheated on, she would have did exactly what the fuck she did, which is get on the internet being her authentic self. And
what
I don't
I'm
think
saying
wait, because the conversation needs to get off of her. Because at the end of the day, she did a video with him because he fucked up. And that's my point back to him. He should have never had on, and we agree on that. She shouldn't have been on the video because now the conversation becomes, what is she wearing? Why? Because she's a woman. If she was a nigga, she could have literally showed up in some gray sweats right out of bed with a white shirt. And nobody would have said a thing, but because she's a woman, and
he
she's
wouldn't have allowed to have that.
Wait.
No, I disagree because he would not have been allowed to wear that lingerie, being all sexified for the general public.
Okay.
Because gray sweatpants is like catnip for women.
I want to.
My point is,
you forgot about.
My point is just saying that he could have rolled out of bed.
I want to be clear. I want to be clear about something really quick. I understand the point you're making, and I'm not saying misogyny isn't a thing, and I'm not saying that the fact that we're talking about how she looks isn't basically misogyny. I'm just speaking about the fact that we in the real world, misogyny is a thing, and people talk about women on social media. And it just seems crazy to me that someone whose job is literally social media and someone whose job is to curate content for social media made that kind of move from a PR social media standpoint. That's all. Listen, if that's how she looks, that's cool. Every girl ain't got to walk around with a beat face.
But my point is this. I'm glad he didn't get her dressed up. What I'm saying is, as a man who knows his wife, even though he knows all the stuff about social media, I think he knows his wife well enough to know that asking her... Have you seen Maleficent?
The movie, yes, it's brilliant.
The second one. It's
good. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Remember when she asked Maleficent to put the scarf around her horns?
Uh-huh.
And then later she was like, I wish I didn't ask her to do that.
Right.
Him asking her to get done up for that press conference, which is what it was, would have been akin to Sleeping Beauty asking Maleficent to put the scarf around her horns. It's the same thing. Be yourself. He allowed her, even though I'm not defending him at all in anything he did. What I am defending is him not forcing her to put on this thing for the benefit of his revival. Because that's what it would have been.
Also, she weird. And that whole Jesus video she did was weird as fuck. I'm sorry.
It's not weird. Listen, I don't feel like, I don't agree with her religious beliefs, but I agree with her right to have them because everybody's weird. I agree with her right to have them,
and I think they're weird. I agree with her right to have them.
But weird. People think you're weird, Tristan.
That's true, and that's fine. And they can get, and you know what? They can get on a podcast.
You're right.
And they can say, "Yo, that gay nigga Tristan is weird."
But can we agree that well, this is my personal theory because I have conspiracy theory moments. Okay. I think Derek put her ass on there, frumpy and all, non-traditionally beautiful, on purpose, as a wink, like, hey, And this is the real
This is why I cheated on her.
I do think so, without
so.
saying
that makes a lot of sense.
Because I think he's a very
smart.
manipulative narcissist. That's what I feel. That's the vibe I've always gotten from him. So
that
it
hurts
not
my heart
me
because until you said that, I would not have thought that. But now that you said that, I'm like, that's absolutely why he did that.
And I don't want to say he let her. I just think he did. It's not about him letting her make those videos.
He coaxed her to get on live due to that reason. He coaxed her to do it. I do firmly believe that.
Those videos so people can see how, because he's not religious like she is. Like I've seen interviews when he talks about how he's a Christian, but he doesn't
talking about it, but he be loose. She is like Jesus,
right? She's deep in it. I think he like
Jesus.
I think he not only wanted her to look like that in that video with him. I think he has like boosted her up through the videos by herself that make her look kind of zealot like. Because then we all go, oh, well, now we see why he cheated on her. Because if I was with her and someone was a zealot like that, I would cheat on her too. I would not. I just would break up with
which
your
is
ass.
disgusting.
I don't cheat.
Which is disgusting.
It's fucked up. And let me be clear, because we haven't talked enough about him. He a fucked up piece of shit. Like I want everyone to understand.
We can go there. Let's talk about Derek Jaxn.
He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Mainly because, y'all, I just find it so crazy that like all of his advice is always towards women. Like it's almost exclusively like.
Well, he knows his audience. Women. He knows his audience.
But like,
say what you really want to say, Tristan. Wait, stop, Tristan. Look at me in my face. Say what you really want to say.
I don't know what.
Say what you really want to say about Derek Jaxn.
That he's fine? Yeah, he's fine.
That's not what you want to say. And what else is his fine ass but that you want to say? Say it. I'm thinking it too.
No, I'm not. I don't think he likes men.
I do. Absolutely. I don't think he likes men in like he's down low. I think he likes men in that he's a man and he thinks he's the best thing that exists.
Oh my.
I absolutely think if Derek Jaxn could clone himself and then fuck himself exclusively, he absolutely would.
Oh yeah, but he's a narcissist. Like he's clearly
right. He is a narcissist.
And we throw that word around so much, so I don't even like using it. But like, legitimately, he is a
narcissist. Like
he's a narcissist.
If you don't know what narcissist means, literally look at this nigga. Like the lies he I didn't know who he was until this scandal,
bruh.
But watching him lately, I'm like,
videos.
Watching his videos is like, nigga. The girl said to him, "You were outside of my." One of his mistresses said, "You were outside of my house when you recorded your videos." And had proof. I said, nigga, oh, he is on. Like, bro, you can't believe shit this nigga say. Like, he out there just, he wildin'.
Because allegedly he's tied to B. Simone too. I guess she said she wanted a boyfriend.
Peddling this book in the midst of all this, like, how you have the audacity to be peddling a book about relationship advice and being faithful while you're having a cheating scandal?
No. It's about healing. That's what the book is about.
Oh, girl, God. Fuck that, bitch.
But who is healing?
Okay.
That's why I think that's why he boosting the wife now, because he's trying to hawk that book too. It's a wicked web he's weaving. I came across him with that whole issue with what's that that preacher
Black
that's
on
OWN. No.
The Black Love TV show.
No, not Black. I don't think that's Black Love. I'm talking about that pastor that's on OWN network. Well, OWN network.
The one who cheated on his wife too.
Yes, and then the wife came after him, and they was battling online. That's when I met him.
I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about. The big dude,
Earl Grey, isn't that his name?
It's Earl something, yeah.
I think it's Grey, but yeah, him and his wife had got on live and made comments after Derek Jaxn made comments about his infidelities, because apparently that wasn't his first time doing it, and so it was. Ever since then, I would see a little blip here, a little blip there. So now that this situation happened, I do find it interesting that Charmaine did bring up one of Derek Jaxn's older videos about. He says that he has no sympathy
read his ass.
For filth, honey.
Read his ass.
But yo,
he ran his ass like one of them old gays.
But I was gonna say that too. Look, Charlamagne ran his ass like he was not straight. No shade to Charlamagne. It's not an insult. I know straight people feel like that's an insult when you say shit like that. But it's actually a compliment. Telling you read like Charlamagne wherever you at. You read him like you were a gay man, which is literally the best compliment I can give to your reading. The library is open 24 hours on his ass. Like, oh my God.
Case though of the right message, wrong messenger.
No, lies.
Let me finish. Charlamagne, the last person who should be talking about somebody cheating, because he just stopped cheating on his wife like 3 years ago. Like, he'll even tell you he only been.
But that's not what Charlamagne was harping on. Charlamagne wasn't harping on the fact that this man cheated.
He was harping on the hypocrisy of it.
And he was harping
books to women and these videos to women saying that you shouldn't have to take that from your man.
Knowing he was fucking all these women.
You know, you should love yourself better than having.
And it's even worse than that. Like, when you
look at the text
messages. Wait, when you look at the text messages.
It's still coming from a fuckboy.
When you look at the text messages between him and the most recent mistress that came out.
Oh, it's a lie.
Where he told her, I'm coming to your office, and if you don't deal with him, like, he decided to go straight to stalker.
Right.
You have a whole wife and 2 other mistresses. The whole internet is looking at you, and you worried about me? That's narcissism. Because the truth is, you so great, you could very easily get another
somebody
person.
Else.
Like, look, but the thing is, it's not about finding another person. What it's about is controlling me and not losing control of what you already have. So at the end of the day, when he decided to read him, every single syllable that came out of Charlamagne's mouth was 125% accurate. And he had the nerve to have motherfucking receipts.
I will say this. I just don't want to hear. I think all the cheating niggas should just be quiet. Like, if this kind
of wait, Tristan. If all the cheating niggas were quiet, men wouldn't be able to talk.
That's fine. Then they don't have to it's gonna be the gays and the women talking about this. I've never cheated on my boyfriend.
Have you ever been with somebody who was with a girlfriend or a boyfriend?
That's not what we're talking about. I've not cheated on my boyfriend. I've not cheated on my boyfriend. I've not cheated on my boyfriend. Let me be clear. I've never cheated on my boyfriend.
He said you better check the terms and conditions of this agreement.
Oh my God. Also, this gonna make some folks mad, but I'm always
good night, y'all.
I think that
good night, America. Good night, world.
Let me be clear. There's a different folks can get mad if they want to, but I think I've never dealt with a guy who had a boyfriend. I've never dealt with a guy who had a boyfriend that I knew.
Have you dealt with a guy who had a girlfriend?
I think that's different. I do. I really feel that way. I know some people disagree, and we can have that conversation. I think that's different.
This is one of those moments where he's like, you should take your own advice, because this is where he's like, okay, stop, just let it go. Because
I think it's different.
Y'all.
I think this is my thing about it.
Leave me alone.
I feel like if you're gonna lecture about cheating, my issue with Derek Jaxn is actually not that he cheated. I'm not a proponent of cheating. I'm not saying that I'm like supporting cheating, but that's not my issue with him, because I don't think monogamy is real at all. You can't convince me that it's real. You can only convince me that people choose to do it because they want to be accepted by someone. But you can't convince me that that's human being. That's not our natural instincts to be monogamous.
We just haven't found the right one.
I think different people. I think it's different for different people. I know.
I want to say this, and I hope this doesn't piss anybody off, specifically the panelists to my left. Monogamy is for lesbians. And that's it.
I guess I'm a lesbian.
You're not a lesbian because you be fucking niggas' girlfriend, boyfriends. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Like, lesbians, they keep that shit a buck. They be like, no, this is my person, and that's your. Like, lesbians don't do that shit that everybody else do. When
that's what you think, sir.
I'm sure there are lesbians that are cheap, but I feel like if there was a study done of lesbian of monogamy and which community monogamy is most prevalent in, I believe it would be lesbians.
I agree with that.
Unfortunately, we just good at keeping our shit on the DL. Y'all niggas be having all y'all shit out the goddamn streets. That's the only damn difference.
But Dureyea, for real.
We just know how to stick and move. Y'all niggas are reckless.
Listen,
Dureyea, you know me, like, relatively well. You know me.
Yeah, I know you since you were a kid.
And so you know that, like, I don't be trying to fuck no niggas like that. Like, if I'm with you,
stop.
I really
Tristan, stop.
Why are we like this?
Why
are we stopping?
Like, it's crazy.
What did I lie about?
Tristan jinxed himself because he had that conversation earlier in the show where we talked about not busting niggas out in front of people. Why are you doing this?
What am I saying?
I feel like what I feel right now is that I am Drew Sidora and you're absolutely LaToya with the braids. Because that's the only
when
way
have I ever pause? When have I
What you just said was I don't be trying to fuck niggas, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, I'm Candy.
Excuse me. Let me rephrase. I was speaking flippantly. Let me rewind.
Okay, you are. Okay.
When I'm dealing with somebody,
when you're in a relationship,
I deal with when I'm dating someone. When I'm in a relationship,
okay.
I don't desire to fuck other people.
Okay.
I don't. That's not. And I think you would. Like, that's not.
That's not something that I can attest to. Not that I'm denying it. What I'm saying is, I can't say that I can remember a time. This is not shade, and I can't think of a way to say it without it sounding shady.
Oh, God.
I can't think of a time where I remember you being in a relationship.
That's fine.
Let me preface that for the audience. There are times where we would talk a lot, and then we wouldn't talk, and then we would talk a lot.
Right.
So there's gaps in our history where he could have been and I could have been and I just didn't know, right?
But you didn't believe, not to tell too much about my business, but you didn't believe I was an actual virgin for a long time.
I didn't. But it wasn't you. It wasn't because of you. It's because you're gay and the way these niggas be acting in our city, nigga, you're not a virgin. But I believe you now.
Why, Miss Celie, you still a virgin.
Right.
I believe you now because it's like if you still lying, look at your age, if you still lying about that shit, okay, baby. Yep. Either way,
I'm a virgin now. I've done.
It's okay to be a virgin. You ain't got to lie in front of these folks.
I've done the things. People know I've
look at you so proud. You ain't got to lie. We don't care. We love you. It don't matter.
I was gonna tell all my business for a second.
I know.
You said that out loud.
Listen, that's another show we can have. Listen.
Okay.
No, it's not.
That's the after show.
That's the after show.
That's the after show that's on OnlyFans.
We can't have an OnlyFans. Ain't nobody gonna pay to listen to us talk about sex.
That's a thing.
Well, I mean,
it might
it
be for some people,
depends.
but
I'm sure there are people who would pay to listen.
Exactly, there's people that will pay for anything.
That's very true.
So,
but no, what I'm saying is this is the thing. I consider that if you're engaging in activities that you know are cheating, it is not the same as if you're the cheater. I will agree. However, you know that this person is involved. You're culpable. And a lot of people like to I'm not
because
I'm saying if you know that they're involved and then you continue, you are absolutely culpable. If you don't know that they're involved, and I've been in both situations. I've been in situations people after I found out I was like, oh, what? Then I've been in situations that I already knew. So I'm also talking about me. I'm not trying to throw off the judgment. If you know, you know, and I do feel like we like to say, oh, I've never cheated. But you've done some cheating shit. So let's not pretend like you're just blameless at the end of the day. Nigga, people monogamy is not a thing. It's a convention of white supremacy. Oh, we getting talk it out territory.
Okay. I was gonna say.
My point is this: it's a convention.
It's becoming a D&M show.
Right. Let me say it's a convention of the status quo. Monogamy is a convention of the status quo, being monogamy. We like to define monogamy as normal, but when you really look at human behavior, meaning how often people are not monogamous, monogamy is actually the minority of our behavior. Less people are monogamous than are promiscuous. We just don't like to accept that as people. We are promiscuous entities because we have attached the idea of promiscuity with being negative, right? But when you actually look at statistics, if you polled every one of the 8 billion people on the planet, you would find that people are more likely to be promiscuous than they are to be monogamous. Then you would have to accept promiscuity as the norm, and then monogamy would be abnormal, and then all the stuff we're talking about would not be consequential. So, as I said, I'm not judging
but you
Derek
know what? I think
because
it's still a lack of communication.
In who? How? Because of what?
If you are upfront with your hoism,
what you want, right?
Right. They'll allow them the choice if they want to. If they want to be down with you through thick and thin, holes or no holes, that's fine.
Right.
But at
that's
least
when
have
you
that
come to niggas like
communication.
Derek. But you come with niggas like Derek Jaxn. Derek Jaxn. It's not about. Let's be clear. With niggas like Derek Jaxn, it's not at all about being able to fuck who they want to fuck. That's not what gets him off. What gets him off is lying. He likes to be able to fuck who he wants to fuck and lie to them while he's doing it. That's what turns him on. So, because to be honest, there's 8 billion people on this planet, and I promise you, we've had like 3 mistresses pop up. He could have found 3 mistresses that were not only okay with him fucking them, also they probably would have fucked each other. He could have found a lot of women who would have been okay with whatever he wanted. He didn't want women who were okay with what he wanted. He wanted to hide from these women. And that's what we're seeing.
I think part of it, too, I had a friend who posted about, she posted this, so I got it from her, but she posted this little blurb about men, a lot of men having a Mary Madonna complex. And so that's a legitimate thing. So basically it's where men cannot see their wives. They can see women in 2 ways, as a Mary and as a Madonna, as a virgin and as a whore. So you marry the Mary, but then you're not actually
attracted to the man.
Attracted to that. Like, you're not attracted to her because she's a Mary, but you want to fuck the Madonna. You want to fuck the whore. And I think specifically, there are a lot of black men who have that issue. I think part of it is because when they grew up in houses where they saw this is going to sound gross, so please don't judge me, y'all. I think it's important that kids see their parents being physically affectionate with each other. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to see that your father has a physical attraction to your mother. I think lots of men have grown up seeing their fathers not have a physical attraction to their mother, and then see their fathers kissing on, dealing with other women, because that's what y'all know. Like, black men will be cheating on their wives and let their kids see it and don't care. So I think if you grow up seeing
and be helping them with the lie.
Okay, helping them with the lie. And I think when you grow up seeing that, when you become an adult, you think that's what you do. I find a girl to get with who's going to raise my children and keep me a nice house and be a good mother and a good wife. And then I find some Madonnas to fuck on the side.
I think this is a cautionary tale, especially to all the women out there that looked up to him. Honey, get you an actual therapist.
Get a man.
There's black women therapists, Better Health. There's plenty of other resources. You don't have to, look up to this man with these videos as a guru, which I don't even think he's classically trained in
ain't got no degree in nothing, girl.
So it's like
nothing.
and
you have to realize his biggest impulse right now, sadly, and I agree, this is where I agree with Charlamagne, which is the biggest problem with a nigga like him. His biggest impulse right now is to save his brand, not his marriage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I mean,
this
that's
would be the point in time for him to
but wait,
well, no, but still,
she ain't going nowhere. So why would he put his focus on that?
She doesn't blame Satan on him cheating. So legitimately, he ain't even got no responsibility for it. Like, there's no.
So wait,
there's
nothing
it's Lil
Nas X that caused him to cheat? Oh no,
it is. It's Lil Nas X and the gay agenda. What are you talking about?
Why
the gay agenda caused this man to cheat on his wife with other gay women, because if it wasn't for the gay agenda, nothing sexually adverse would be happening. So Lil Nas X, if you realize, let me tell you, the issue is you really got to think about it, right? You know how them gays move. It's subliminal. It's a war that's happening, right? We waging war. If you think about it, Lil Nas X put out this video the same week that Derek Jaxn got, and that's by design. They playing us right now. Fuck these niggas. I'm sorry.
While I do appreciate his freedom of art, it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea.
You didn't like the video?
I didn't say I didn't like the video.
Let me be clear. Mo is very religious, though.
I'm not very religious.
Mo looks up a different Bible verse every 2 seconds.
That's okay, Queen.
Mo be in the Bible. Mo has the Bible in their back pocket right now. Okay.
I mean, I have a Bible on my phone, but I mean, I don't know why you disinfecting me like that.
noticed?
Because I got what he was trying to say within that video. He was drastically trying. That was allegory for his own personal thoughts and feelings and how the world has been treating him.
Right.
Because of who he is. I definitely get that. Now there was some I don't know if it was Aramaic, but it was some ancient language that was like etched.
You talking on the tree?
On the tree. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that language, and I was like, you know what? I'm not trying to keep watching this video. It might be trying to invite the devil in. You know, You
didn't want no. You would.
I didn't want none of that in my house.
I don't know if I really.
This is a classical Christian household.
But I feel but the thing about it, like that nigga really could have just wrote some symbols on a tree that he came up with.
I mean, it could
have felt the same.
We don't know what the hell that shit is.
Aramaic. I don't know. But
then it could have been Aramaic. But you know how some of these little symbols, niggas got tattoos right now that's in Chinese. They don't know the fuck they actually mean. Let us be clear.
Exactly.
Like, I think listen. This is the reason I really think he played into what everybody says about him. We're topic hopping right now, okay?
Yes, we are.
We are.
The reason I think he played into it is because I was on TikTok and I saw this video of this black dude, a hotep,
child,
saying basically all these horrible things about Lil Nas X and how he's, the hotep rhetoric. And Lil Nas X is duetting the TikTok just, me? I did that?
See.
What? And so I'm saying like, all this stuff that people are saying about him, he hears it. Which is great to know because it's like even B did the whole like you hate us corny with this Illuminati man because it's like they hear that shit. Of course they hear it. How did they not?
It's the internet. We all hear it. They got
so what he said, you have to, in order to believe that he is doing what they say he's doing, we have to also believe that he doesn't hear the shit we say about him. But when you accept the fact that he hears the shit you're saying, then you realize more often than not. He's a 20-something-year-old, which means he's incredibly well-versed in trolling. Because if there's one thing...
Very.
They
Gen Z little
They control the fuck... They know the internet. They know how it works. He's very well-versed in doing that. He knows what he's doing. So at the end of the day, what he said was, fuck you. And all the shit y'all are saying, y'all want to say this stuff about me? Because I saw this one video that basically said... It showed him before he had come out. And then after he came out and said Hollywood did that to him. And I was like, and I got mad. Yeah,
that was a funny TikTok. Cause I got mad. Oh my God.
I got mad because I said to myself, that's just you speaking of a position of straightness, not understanding what it means to come out and how you feel afterward. Even me, like, I'm 30 and I came out when I was 18 and I'm still getting in touch with my gay and feminine side.
And if we're being honest, actually, Hollywood put him back in the closet because before Lil Nas X was famous, he was being quite gay on the Twitter. When he was Nas Mirage, he was he was here for the Kikis and the Kakas. And
that's why he was faking he wasn't a Nicki Minaj stan. Because they were trying. He was a whole stan. But he tried to downplay it like he wasn't really
because he didn't want to. That poor and that's what I'm saying. And they want to talk about an agenda where you have to realize.
So it's really him being Hollywood put him back in the closet.
But let's even go deeper than that. You have a man who is black and gay and all those things marginalized, but he also is a human being with a dream. All he wants is to make this dream come true, and he feels like the only thing he can. And they're saying that in order to make this dream come true, he has to be willing to make your children gay. When the truth is, in order to make that dream come true, he felt like he had to hide himself.
He had to butch it up, honey.
Yeah, like he
felt
go
like down
he
to
had
the Old Town Road.
Let me tell you, I'm be honest, and I don't want to sound like I'm reading Lil Nas X, but I'm gonna say this. He performed with Lil Nas. He performed with Billy Ray Cyrus and somebody else on some award show when I was in jail, and I remember thinking, this nigga looks awkward as fuck.
It was like the Grammys, I think. It was a big.
He looked so awkward, and now I know why he looked awkward because he wanted the queen to fuck out. He wanted the queen and he couldn't. So all he could do is just kind of like, I don't know what the fuck to really do up here. The whole world is watching. But he wanted to be like, He wanted to do all that shit. But he couldn't because at that point, even though he had come out at that point.
Because he said he wanted to ride till I can't.
You know what's crazy? Nicki Minaj hit him with the...
Yeah, because Nicki had the receipts, didn't she?
She did. Well, no. So after he came out and like the Nicki hate train was over, he like hit Nicki on Twitter and he was like, yo, I want to do a song with you, yada, yada, yada. And so Nicki hit him with the, I'm paraphrasing, but something like, I was really hurt when you denied being a Barb, but I'm happy you had the courage to come out. Be blessed. And that and that was it. It was like,
but it sucks because I wish Nicki. Honestly, I love Nicki, I do, but I think Nicki sometimes my issue with Nicki is her ego.
I want to defend her.
Because to me, I think Nicki, I would hope, Nicki's not gay, so maybe she doesn't get it. But I hope she would understand why he did what he did.
But I don't think she thinks of it that way. I think she thinks he did what he did because at the time when he did it, it was very cool and in vogue to hate on Nicki. Like I'm just
right because Cardi was just coming out.
Because Cardi was and
Cardi was very popular.
But I think for him, I think she should understand he's not only a man and black and gay. He also is a rapper. So the smartest thing for him to do is to reject anything that is gay, feminine, and she was just not. It wasn't personal. She was a part of the package of things. Let me tell you what. To me, like when I be around these niggas, I'm talking about when I be in goddamn either in the military or in jail, right? And they decide to ask me who my favorite artists are. It's like Piper shows up from Charmed and freezes time. And it's like Dureyea shows up. It's like, what you gonna say, nigga? You gonna tell them that you like Jennifer Hudson and Beyonce? Because as straight as you've been acting, it don't matter once you say that. They gonna know. They're gonna know. Because straight niggas, they don't claim Beyonce and Jen as their favorite, especially not Jen. So my point is saying part of rejecting your gay Jennifer Hudson. Part of rejecting your yeah. Part of rejecting your gayness is also that. Like, so there's been plenty of times when people, and I didn't lie to them. I will say this. My favorite artists are Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson. However,
if you didn't say that until you lied.
My other favorite artists are CeeLo and Marvin Gaye. So when I was in the military at first, I went back into the closet when I got into the military. And when niggas would ask me about who I liked as an artist, that's who I would mention. I like Marvin Gaye and CeeLo. It wasn't a lie, but it was a way for me to mention a man's name, because if I told them, then they would immediately know I was gay. Okay. And so for him to deny Nicki, to me, it feels like the same. It wasn't personal, but Nicki being Nicki, she's like...
But at the same time, just because you going through something doesn't mean I have to work with you either.
Right.
Okay.
And I think I think we're asking a lot of her, because I remember at the time it wasn't even just that Cardi had come out, but then you had people like Usher and people she had done songs with, and like no lie, let's be real, Usher's career had kind of tanked for a hot minute.
Usher's career will never tank. Let's be clear.
Well, no, Usher's career tanked because of the damn issues with the herpes cases.
No, nobody cares about that.
But this is before that. He put out that album, Here I Stand. Here I Stand didn't tank, but it didn't do as well as his other albums had done. And I remember Lil Freak was on the next. It was the first single from the next album, and we all know Nicki made that song. Trey Songz went in on Nicki at one point, and it's like, well, first of all, one of my favorite Trey
songs. I get it. No, I will agree with you. For Nicki, it doesn't feel like it would be hard. I'm not saying I agree. I'm saying, in hearing what y'all are saying right now, I realize certain things. That for Nicki, it would be very hard to separate Lil Nas X's individual reasoning for why he did what he did from what she was experiencing as a whole. And I totally agree with that. Mm-hmm. What I will say, though, is I think it's kind of like this. Nicki Minaj is an adult in this situation, and he is a child.
I do think there's a certain there's a certain way of thinking as an adult there's a certain way of thinking that you have to have that a child won't have, and that puts more responsibility on you. I think they have done a song together though recently. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say at the same time, just because you have a child mentality doesn't mean that I have to come in and save you like Captain Save a Hoe.
Not a hoe.
Also, I do think they've done a song.
He doesn't need to be saved. I'm not saying that she wants to save him. What
I'm not saying that either, but what I'm saying,
and I'm not saying that I think that he should just talk to her too. I'm not saying he has or hasn't, but I think he should be like, listen, when I came out, I felt like I had to hide that because of whatever. And I was wrong for that, but I love you. You're the best, and I just want to do a song with you. And I think he should humble himself in that sense too. And I'm not saying he hasn't, because I don't know. They could have had a private conversation that I'm not privy to.
I think they have, because he did a live like either today or yesterday, and the person he did the live with said, "Hey, So they said, so how was it working with Nikki? And when I tell you he got off the live quick, he was like, okay, I love you, Nikki. Have a good one. And like he got off the live. So I think they have.
How do you watch all this shit, Tristan? Like, how does Tristan have a full-time job, be going on trips, excursions, but yet can still know everybody's goddamn business?
Man, listen.
Instagrams.
Let me tell you, Sipping Kiki is not me and Mo's show. It's not.
It's my show. It's my
Tristan's show. I talk a lot because Woe Nelly Media, but it's not my show. Like don't get that twisted. Like this is the show that we're doing because Tristan, and Mo, but Tristan lives in the land of receipts.
I do.
Nothing wrong with it. I think sidebar. I think Lil Nas X having that Halloween costume, cosplaying Nicki Minaj. I definitely think that helped the situation too.
I think it did. It was a good costume too. Like
it was. He really put a lot of effort into that too.
He did that. 10s across the board.
Right. But
well, guys, it's like after midnight.
It is late, so let's say this. How
are we gonna wrap up?
Well, I don't know if we're wrapping up because I actually had one more thing I want to talk about.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do it.
This is late night, and we're kind of figuring out our groove and our vibe. We don't have like a massive amount of viewers, but it's our first episode. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. So I think, especially because people are watching us on Twitch, and that's why I fuck with Twitchers. They will hang out with us for like 8 hours if we want. So I will say this.
Well, honey, folks got to go to work in the morning now. I can't be doing 8 hours.
Oh, y'all. I forget y'all don't work for yourselves. I forget. So. Okay.
Really?
I wanted to ask this question. Yeah. I've heard this phrase. So City Girls got this song. They go, broke niggas don't deserve no pussy.
That's Cardi B.
No, that's City Girls.
That was City Girls.
And
Cardi
then,
B is broke niggas.
Cardi B.
You said broke niggas don't
That's
get
my
no
first
pussy.
time.
No, they both say that. No, the phrase is the same. But the City Girls song goes, broke niggas don't deserve no pussy. Broke niggas don't deserve. And then Cardi B goes, broke niggas don't know pussy.
Broke boys don't deserve no pussy. I know that's
right. And so I was hearing the song the other day and I said, I wanted to pose this question. Let me see how I'm going to type this the PG way.
Oh, God. Okay. Is there a way at this time of night?
It's late, so.
Yeah, it's starting to get late, sir. I mean, my voice is starting to deepen. Come on now. You and these candles, Tristan. What's the scent of the week? What's the scent of this week?
This is Bath and Body Works Ocean Driftwood. It smells amazing.
So the question I want to ask to close out the night, meaning that this will be our last question, and this is how we'll do the show from now on. We'll do our talk, and at the end we'll ask like a philosophical question that's low key ratchet. Why don't broke niggas deserve no pussy? Why?
Well, the Bible says if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat.
Yes.
That's it. The church.
That's it right there.
Not
That's
the taking the church.
That is it.
But I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up on, Akinelli, put it in your mouth, fuck me for free.
Put it in your mouth.
I feel like broke niggas get more pussy than everybody.
That's because they broke and they don't have no job. They can one time.
Nah, that's because broke. Let me tell you why. Broke niggas. I'm telling us, broke niggas, because I'm one of them. I'm telling our secret right now.
No, you just in between blessings. Come on now.
I like that. You just in between blessings, King.
I'll take that. Okay, in between blessings, niggas. Let me tell you, I'm about to tell our secret. This is why, even though broke niggas apparently don't deserve no pussy, they get a lot of pussy because
they know how to handle the pussy.
We know how to handle the pussy, and that's how we stay unbroke. Hello. And I'm not talking about handouts. I'm literally talking about like if you know how to do what you're supposed to do, you'll eat and eat.
I don't fuck niggas.
You know what?
Tristan, stop. You're literally a sugar baby. Tristan, you're Mo. Put your headphones back in.
That's my point. I don't fuck niggas who don't have money. Like, no.
But let's be clear. The fact that you don't fuck dudes that don't have money doesn't mean that you don't understand the concept that I'm talking about.
Oh, I do. Let me be clear. Homosexuals have good dick. Homosexuals have the best dick.
Homosexuals. I love that. Homosexuals know it's more than just about the money. It's because like when you're a homosexual, you never know when your next serving is coming.
So you got to be able to serve the dick up to have some place to sleep.
It's not even about that. It's actually about you. It's like, you know what? This person is ready to do, and I'm going to do because this might be, I don't know when I'm going to do again.
No, ma'am.
And so I'm about to put it down. I'm putting it down.
I mean, I've never had sex with a broke dude. I've had sex with like my first boyfriend. He wasn't like rich. Like he was just kind of like, he was regular. He worked for himself. Like he did, you know, he might be watching. I'll send him the link. But he was cool. Actually, I've only fucked one dude who had money, like in that aspect, if that makes sense.
Here's my problem. I've had sex with broke dudes. I've had sex with rich dudes, but that's never what's on my mind. Maybe if it was, I'd be in a better place in life. But generally, because I'm a man when it comes to like physical stuff. Like I just want the physical gratification. And then I think about the other stuff later, right? So to me, I'm just like if I'm into you, I'm into you. It's rarely about like the position. But I will say that like when you are a broke person, you got to put it down because like I said, like you never know when your next serving is coming or whether this serving will help you to get to somewhere else. So you're going to put it
like a couch to sleep on.
Hello, pretty dudes don't know how to have sex.
They don't have to. I had this conversation with someone literally at the bar earlier. Like this dude was talking about how he had sex with this girl and it was bad. She just laid there. I said, she was super pretty, wasn't she? He said, yeah. I said, she had a nice body, didn't she? He said, yeah. I said, them motherfuckers don't know how to fuck because they never have to. Because they pretty with a nice body, they don't have to try.
I bet if we could do a study, what you would find is ugly people have more sex and better sex than conventionally pretty people.
I agree.
Because what you would find is
that why the pretty girl gets cheated on all the time? Is that what it is?
Yes.
What you're trying to insinuate?
That's not what I'm saying. I don't know what. I feel like this. When it comes to like ugly people who are conventionally attractive, they don't. There's pretty privilege and all that stuff. They don't worry about that kind of stuff. So for them, when the sex happens, that's not even a thing. That's not even a worry, like how they perform. Because they get all the things that they want from just looking how they do. When you're not right, when you're not like conventionally attractive, or even if you think you're not conventionally attractive, you really want to like overcompensate in your performance. There's a lot of like just lay there and get fucked type of people, and I'll be honest, we veering, but there's lay there and get fucked. There's also I'm gonna fuck you back, which is sometimes problematic.
Agreed.
Sometimes you need, but then there's the ones in the middle who are like, I'm not gonna just lay there. I'm gonna know when to push back and I'm gonna know when to not. Those are the people that know how to do it, right? And a lot of the times, those are generally people who are averagely attractive. I know average is not a word, but the people who are like in that middle ground of like, I'm not Brad Pitt, but I'm not, Quasi.
So you're trying to say the perfect five? Is that what you're trying to say?
The perfect five?
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, someone who's a 5.
A 6 or a 7.
I like 7.
A 6 or a 7.
I think
I don't care because I'm the type of person I will give you instructions.
I don't want someone who's pretty. I don't want someone who's super
Tristan,
pretty.
I would literally be this. I would be this motherfucker. No. I'll do all that. I will put you where I want you to be. Period. Like, what do you mean? I mean, sometimes when you vibe the person, you know whether they want you to put them there or whether they want you to talk yourself. Like, whether they want you to tell you, like, just arch your back a little. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I don't mind instructions. I love instructions because I love getting instructions. I love when a person that I'm being intimate with tells me what they want. I don't mind that stuff.
You was giving all your tea, King.
It's not my tea because I feel like motherfuckers act like I'm a man, so I know everything about sex. But how? From who and why? You didn't just figure it out. Because if you're telling me you figured out how to have sex by not communicating with your partners, you don't know how to have sex.
That's true.
So I don't mind communication.
So I mean, on that note, should we wrap up? It's 12:20.
Okay, Tristan wants to get off of the internet.
I don't want to get off, but like I know Mo got to work. I'm off tomorrow, so I don't have to wake up.
Let me tell you something about Mo. So since we'll talk about it off air, but I guess we got to figure out like a time limit because the way I was feeling that sipping Kiki would work is that it would be kind of like this free form.
Listen, if you want to talk till 3, we can. I don't care. I don't have to work in the morning.
I literally, y'all know how my sleep schedule is. I'm just saying, like, it's late night stuff. This is the type of time of night where we can just like talk about whatever.
Talk about dick. Sure, yeah.
I mean, it's relevant because the question is why don't broke niggas? We actually haven't even addressed the question.
True. I was okay. So
I've already said it.
Why?
Right. If a man who doesn't work doesn't eat, the Bible told us.
Right. You did say it. Okay, what do you think, Tristan? Why is it that broke niggas don't deserve pussy?
I mean, I think everyone deserves to get some ass / pussy because that's not my ministry. But I think, like, listen, broke niggas.
But why do you think
that's my ministry? But on the real,
I think it's a cute line for like rap music and specifically rap women because it's there's a sense of woman empowerment there. It's like there's a sense of women saying, I have a standing. I ain't gonna just take no shit. I will say, I don't know who it was who did an interview, but she said if you dating a dude and he your man, he your bae, and he has the means, he has money, he has resources.
Right.
He shouldn't want you going like he should want his woman to look to match it.
Just to have
things.
Yeah.
To match. And she said specifically, like, if you got a dude and he look good and he got resources and means, why would he want you going out with your hair looking raggedy? Why would he want you going out with your nails not done? Especially if that's something you're into. Now, obviously, if that ain't your ministry, it don't matter.
Thank you. That's all I wanted, Tristan. That whole I just wanted that moment that you just gave me. I just wanted that. Okay. If that's not your ministry, living your truth. But if that's your thing, then okay, I can fuck with that. Great.
But and I agree. I think if you're with a guy and he has resources and means, and he's spending money, if he's spending money on bottle service and weed and liquor and other shit, the least he can do is like make sure your hair good, make sure your nails good. Like that ain't asking a whole lot for somebody who's spending money on all this other shit.
That's if they spending money on other shit. But I mean, seriously, I did make that scriptural reference, but I mean, listen, there's a lot of broke women out here too. So
broke women deserve all the dick, or pussy that they can get.
Let me tell you what?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you what. I feel like this about women and sex. Don't say that. Don't say that. But I have thoughts about women's access to liberating sexual activity. And what I mean by that is access to it in a way that doesn't also come with the backlash that it's inevitably going to come with, right?
Mm-hmm.
True.
I'm in support of any woman anywhere having access to enjoyable sex for her, because sex for women has also often been attributed to a male's pleasure. And there's a lot of women who don't even attribute sex with a man to pleasure. They'll have sex with a man and then have to continue after to bring themselves to completion. So when I hear about it, broke. That's why it's literally broke niggas don't deserve no kitty. And in this instance, we're talking about niggas being men. Broke women deserve all the dick or the pussy that they want.
You know
just by the fact that they're women. That's how I feel about it. Like,
I think that you should find some.
Wait, I was gonna say this. I think you're more of a feminist than I am, and that's
saying a feminist.
You are more of a feminist than I am, and that's saying a lot. I'm just saying.
I like to think of myself as a feminist, but I'm problematic as fuck too. So I'm gonna let that go
all the time.
Oh,
I think that you should. My mother always told me that you should find somebody who is equally yoked. The Bible speaks about finding someone who's equally yoked. And
but when black people say that, they always mean it religiously.
Well, no, my mom, no. My mom always said, she says, when she says equally yoked, she thinks it means in every facet. So you should find someone that financially is kind of where you are, somebody emotionally is where you are.
But that's not a realistic quality when you're talking about the culture today, because the culture today is, listen, most people, and I stand by this, I don't know the statistics, I don't have the numbers, but I would bet money that the majority of people are promiscuous. So therefore, when you talk about being equally yoked, do I have to be equally yoked with somebody that I'm about to give that gawk, or do I just have to fucking be into them?
I mean,
I think it's different if you just fucking, obviously.
But wait,
and that's let's not pretend that that's not a large part of it. Like, cause we talk about broke niggas deserving pussy. We're not talking about broke niggas deserving wives and husbands.
Y'all. All right, y'all. But wait, statistically, the number one reason for divorce is finances.
Really?
That's true.
Yes.
It is. That's fact.
Really?
Yes.
You know that makes me so fucking mad. Just hearing that right now,
bruh, I think finances is something that I think a lot of people, I think when you start dating somebody, right? I've never had a conversation with someone I dated about our finances. Like, and
how they felt about
finances. Have you ever shared bills with somebody you were dating?
So I've only lived with one person. I was my first boyfriend, and I moved into his apartment with him, and I paid like the electric bill and like the water bill. He paid like
you paid the electric bill and the water bill?
I did. It was cute. It was about
that's cute. That's very cute. But like, who are you helping? General Electrics with?
But we never had conversation.
Okay.
It was Georgia Power. Thank you. First of all, these loft apartment bills be high, so don't play with me, okay?
Not the light bill and like you said, the light in the water, right? The water be like $15.
It'd be like $10. It'd be cheap as fuck. But like that was the only bill it was to pay besides the rent, and like he didn't make me pay his rent because that nigga was already paying it.
Not the water bill and the electric.
But we never had a conversation about like money, how much money I had, how much money he had.
Okay.
I've never had those conversations with anyone I've dated. I don't think most people have those conversations. And I think even once you like
problem comes into play.
Right. I think even once you get serious and even get engaged, like I have friends right now. I have a homeboy who's married. Him and his wife split bills down the middle. Like they literally split them down the middle. She don't know how much money he making have. He don't know how much she making have. They just split the bills down the middle, and his money is his money, and her money is her money. I think that's weird. I'm not saying that all our money should go into one big pot, but I think we should know.
Wait, I just had a gay moment. You know that was a subplot on the Joy Luck Club.
What?
I haven't seen it in so long.
Of one of the women that was married to their husband. And she asked if they can split all the bills, including going out to dinner and things of that nature, even though he made more money than her, and he did it, and it made her miserable, and it was like she wasn't willing to say anything because it was her idea.
Right, but she was mad because she knew he had more money and could really not pay all the bills himself.
Exactly. So it's like breeding for disaster with that. But yet again, it's going back to my original point. With marriage, it's about communications.
Agreed. Also, why would you be? I've always found it weird that there are couples who are scared to talk about money with their spouse. Like, why would you marry somebody
because
that
that's
you're
how they were
afraid to talk about?
There's plenty of families with their raised, they don't bring up finances. It's kind of like a taboo subject.
I mean, my mom always told me you don't ask people, like, you don't talk about what you make and you don't ask people what they make. But I think it's a little bit different when you marry with somebody and we're in the same household. Mm-hmm. Now, I think that you should have separate money. Like my mom always told me, you should never. I'm telling my mom all the time, I'm sorry, y'all. But she always told me when you date somebody, you should never be in a position where you can't walk away and leave. Like, don't be someplace where you're dependent on someone to, like, meet your bills and to make your life go. You should always be able to be in a position where you can pick your shit up and walk out the fucking door and be okay. Right. At the same time, we should have conversations about how much money is coming in. Do we do we want to save some money to buy a boat? Do we want to save some money to go on a really extravagant vacation? Like, I'm not saying I need to know where every dime you're making is being spent. You work every day. You should be able to spend money on what you want to spend it on. But there should be a conversation.
I mean,
at least a small one.
And I think that's interesting to like think about all this stuff. But I think it's just really important to like when you wrap everything together. okay. Finances and relationships are, depending on who you're talking to, either synonymous or what's the opposite of synonymous? Antagonist. Antagonist.
Antonyms,
whatever.
Antonyms,
they're opposites.
Antonyms
Okay,
are words
fuck
that
it.
aren't
We don't
allowed.
gotta be. It's late night. It's not talking out. They the opposites, right? Or whether it's synonymous or the opposites. Fuck it, right? So at the end of the day, it's like when you talk about broke niggas don't deserve no pussy, but it's like, okay, you can say that, but are you living by that? No.
No, bro, none of these hoes is really living, but they all fucking broke niggas.
Because honestly, I'll be honest, I'm gonna say this, and this might be controversial. I think the reason that women don't live by this phrase, which is down at the bottom of the screen, is because a woman who is dealing with, and I specifically mean a woman, and this I don't mean men, who is dealing with a dude who is dependent on her for money, especially in today's society where black women are the highest rate of college degrees and all that. Like, I think women like that power. I think women also are smart enough to know how niggas feel. So it's like, I like the power, and I'm okay letting you think you're in control. Baby,
now, that was misogynistic.
There's that misogyny.
Tell me, because
you just said I'm gonna let you think you in control.
I think women
the
feel
women
that way.
are saying that.
Yeah, I think women. No, I'm saying that women who have money are totally willing to let a nigga think that he's in control.
But I don't think they're doing that anymore, though. I don't even think they're even giving the illusion anymore to some of these dudes.
No, I mean women with the money who have like these dudes who are their sugar babies. Because let's be clear, sugar mamas are the same as sugar dad. Like there's plenty of sugar mamas out there who have money and are spoiling these
PlayStations
niggas
for young niggas.
Right, but these niggas, because they're fragile male egos, right? They think that they somehow are regulating the sugar mamas and the sugar mamas are totally fine letting them think that.
You know what?
Even though that's not the case.
There. I think a whole lot of these dudes know, the dudes, especially these broke dudes who they older women with money, they know they're not running shit and they don't care. They just want their PlayStation, some pussy, and a place to lay their head.
Yeah, I have to agree with Tristan on that now.
Like both of y'all agreeing.
I be on Twitter. These dudes legit. They want a bitch to buy them a PlayStation, buy them some J's, and give them a place to lay their fucking head.
That's it.
That's it.
And some food.
They know. First of all, if you a broke nigga, you know you ain't running shit. Stop. Like you know you not.
I don't even know what to say to that. But you know what? Okay. So that was the question that I wanted to pose at the end of the show. Why don't broke deserve the kitty? And the answer we came up with is they do. And they get it.
They do. And they get facts. They do.
They get it.
But wait. Just because they get it doesn't mean they deserve it. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's a good question. Okay. Let's stop fucking around. Do people who are not making, when you can say broke doesn't mean homeless. Broke just means you don't have a lot of money. Do you deserve?
I was doing homeless.
I'm gonna stand up for the broke niggas, not only because I am one, because I've been one and I live in broke nigga territory. So I'm biased.
I mean, I'm not gonna hate on the broke niggas. So y'all.
Hello.
Me neither.
And I'll be honest, like bro, dude, they fuck different.
Yeah, because they're in desperate.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Anybody who's had sex, like anybody who knows that broke niggas fuck different. So the reason that broke niggas fuck deserve it is because they fuck different.
They do it better.
I'm not saying better or worse. I'm saying different. So I mean, whatever it is about being broke that makes you put it off a little bit, that in my opinion means that you deserve it because you putting it off in a different situation. You're doing something different, and I need that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. So because of that alone, because we're specifically talking about hooking up, having sex, having fun. Mm-hmm. The reason you deserve it, because I'm not talking about making you my husband, wife. The reason you deserve it is because I know it's about to be amazing.
But see, there's a problem with that because when guys do it right, especially to their female counterparts, there is an actual hormone that's released called oxytocin.
Yes.
Okay.
So that oxytocin basically it makes you clingy, it makes you want to be closer to whoever gave you that feeling. So that can get you caught up in a whole another.
Wait,
set of
oxytocin is exclusive to women?
Well, it's mainly talked about women. I mean, in both sexes, all levels they have. Everybody has the same hormones. It's just that different levels for different sexes are natural. Okay. Like with women, it's more natural to have estrogen, and with men, it's more natural to have testosterone. But all the hormones are within your systems internally. It's just that some are more dominant than others. But go ahead, Tristan.
I think if you let somebody come in you get kind of attached. Like, that's just me.
Tristan.
Like, I'm just being
without me saying like Tristan.
Good night, y'all. Good night.
Yeah,
it's the late night show, isn't it?
It is the late night show. The reason I want to say I disagree is because if that was the case, it's niggas that would be attached to like. I'm not gonna say that, but
attached to what? To you? Yes.
No, not to me because I'm a good boy. But I'm saying like if that simple act was enough to make someone attached to you, there'd be niggas out there with like thousands of stalkers.
I mean, I don't think let me rephrase. I don't think it happens. I don't think it's that way for everyone every time. But I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot.
I'm awake. I'm listening.
I think it's a lot easier to get attached when you were the person that is being penetrated. Like, I think it's more prone to happen when you're the person being penetrated.
Right.
But I also feel that if you're a giver of oral pleasure, I think there's a level of heightened attachment as well. Because think about it. If you're doing it right, you're taking a piece of them within you.
I don't suck dick. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know anything about that.
Get off of my line.
I know. The lies we tell ourselves. Okay. So we will wrap it up on that. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm in an impasse right now because I'm like, this absolutely should be the show for like the after hours talk about it, stuff like that. But, and I don't actually care, but I don't care. So I think
it went left. It's okay.
No, it did not go left. It stayed where we're supposed to be. That's what we're talking about. We're having that. It's adult conversation. So, and literally, I started the conversation off saying that we're gonna have adult conversation. You did. I don't believe what you just said, but
you hold my Bible to me.
Okay.
Anyway,
listen, you better put the whole armor of God when you come around me. Listen.
Well,
so I think we answered the question about why they don't deserve. I think
we did.
The answer is that they do, and they deserve it for a reason because they beat it out the frame. So I mean, if we continue to beat the box up like Ike Turner,
love getting beat out the frame. It's amazing.
Oh my God,
baby, I don't play. Eat the cake up, anime. Say eat the cake up, anime.
On that note,
press the charge.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll do the whole verse.
Kiki, we definitely want to thank you for taking the time to watch us. After
if
everybody can give their final thoughts.
Yes.
We don't have final thoughts on Kiki. At the end of the day.
Okay, that's it. We done. That's it.
We're done. This is our first episode. Let me tell y'all, Sippy Kiki is new. It's this whole thing. It's not a podcast like the other two. It's only a live stream.
We're figuring it out as we go.
But the great thing about it is we want to get here every Sunday night and cut the fuck up. This is Woe Nelly Media's purge, essentially, where we just get together.
I'm a drink next weekend. I couldn't drink this time because I went to the bar earlier and drank too much, and I got my second COVID shot yesterday, so you know.
Oh, your status this morning said you were doing okay.
I was. I'm feeling fine, but I didn't want to like drink at the bar.
Oh, you didn't want to risk it.
And like risk, like, okay, I drink at the bar, and when I come home, I drink some more, and then I feel like shit. Like that would be fun. Or just feel like shit because I drank too much.
But when you feel like shit
beer,
and
you're in the clear, though.
What was that?
Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
I don't ever drink beer at all. Like I drink liquor every time.
Who
is this person with this?
I'm not sure. It's 3X 1828. I don't know. I like the face. It looks like an orgasm face. So thanks for joining us. I'm sure you've been. I'm assuming you've been hanging out with us for a minute. So thanks for chilling with us. You're dope.
XXX 1820 XXX triple X.
Every Sunday we're back here. Tell your friends. Every Sunday at 6. No.
10.
10. Thank you.
Lord have mercy. It's too.
But like I said, like the goal is to make this. Okay, lots of faces. The goal is to make this kind of like. Oh, and you're coming back, dope. Great.
Hey.
Follow our page so you can get an update.
Follow, like, comment.
Yes. So essentially,
thank you.
What we're gonna do is like we'll kind of keep it the same. We'll do with the recap, and then we'll kind of like have a free for all about the crazy stuff that has happened in the week.
And it has been crazy. I will admit.
And then we'll wind up with like a question similar to the why don't broke XYZ. And, you know, I think we come to a good conclusion about why they absolutely deserve it. And you know, it's like this. And here's the lesson. If you aren't necessarily competitive in your sexual, dating, romantic endeavors by means of finance, then you better get your skills up.
You know what? Damn, I'm sorry. Look, the lesbian in me will just not allow this to stand. Straight women out here, don't listen to that bull. Don't let them come in with that bullshit at all. Look, back in the day, it still holds true. Look, a wet pussy and an empty pocketbook don't match. Don't let them bro niggas in your house, okay? Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it, Miss Celia. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold my peace. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a hater, but damn it, don't set yourself up.
Ain't nothing like some broke, freaky sex. Period. Ain't nothing like it.
Yeah, but 2 years later, he's sitting in your house with his holy draws. It ain't worth it, ladies. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
And on that note, I would like to thank you. Oh shit, I forgot the damn. So we about to see some awkwardness. Okay, on that note, we about to see the talk it out background. On that note, I would like to say thank you all for joining us for another episode, or the first episode, the premiere episode of Sipping Kiki. I need to upload the videos correctly. But I love you all. We'll see you all next Sunday at 10 o'clock sharp for late night fun and adventures on another episode of Sipping Kiki. We love you.
Hey, love you guys. See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm down with I'm down with you fellas, but I just couldn't hold it no more. Somebody gotta stand up for the ladies, because y'all was just gonna let that run, and I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it.